Hello. I need to make it so you could see the game. Probably should have done that beforehand, but oh well. Here we go. I don't know what this game is. We'll see. Perfect date. Yeah. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Play. So it looks like there's multiple endings. All-time oh, there's 18 endings and there's secrets. Ooh. 0% of the total game scene. Okay. New game. New game is what we need to do. I guess I'll be her. I'm not a man. Yeah, we'll go with her. Draven, 0. Oh no, I can't have zeros. It's tragedy. I'll just use O's. Draven, no! Okay, never mind. I'll just be Draven. Except autosave notification. I'm an angel and I accept. Oh dear. Chapter 1. I'm not sure how long we've been sailing, but it feels like forever. I'm not feeling too well now, so it's a huge relief to hear the deck lad shout. Island approach. Make yourself ready. Thanks, Joe. I'm finally here. When I applied last month, I was just another broke student living off of baked beans and didn't really think I had a chance of being accepted to be part of the prestigious Cat Island research team. Yet here it is. The little black dot in the distance, growing bigger by the second, is the infamous Cat Island, the place I will call home for the next few months. My heart momentarily skips a beat. What if there's been a mistake? What if they accepted someone else's application and accidentally sent the offer to me? I rummage around in my bag until I find the papers. Dear Draven, we are pleased to be able to offer you the position of research assistant to Professor Purrfect at our research facility on Cat Island. The position will be for an initial period of 8 weeks. Your contract will be sent separately. We look forward to working with you. Yours sincerely, Professor Purrfect. Okay. No mistake. That's my name. Right there in the top left-hand corner, Draven. And there's his name at the bottom. The genius behind this whole operation. Professor Purrfect. Science genius. And my new boss. Sweet. I look up from my papers to see dry land rapidly approaching before us. It seems to be surrounded by a huge barrier of impenetrable black rocks. As we get closer, we're not slowing down, and I begin to worry that we're going to crash into them. Then, at the very last moment, we take a sharp turn to the left, and suddenly we're sailing smoothly towards a jetty through an opening in the rocks. I blow out the breath that I've been holding and break into a smile. Nicely done, Skipper! The ferryman comes out from behind the steering wheel, ignoring my attempts at camaraderie, and shouts rather brusquely, "Take all your belongings. We won't be back for days, so don't leave nothing you'll need." Okay, Bob. Thank you. I smile weakly at the ferryman and his son and pick up my bags, ready to disembark. We glide seamlessly up to the wooden jetty, and the son leaps ashore to tie us off. He's greeted by a bulky man in a uniform, who I take to be a security officer of some kind. Joe, that doesn't look like a uniform. I mean, he's wearing a tie. I mean, I guess that can qualify. I have to get a cough drop. Sir, caught you a mouse. And then he laughs loudly as though he said the funniest thing he's ever heard. It's very disconcerting. Disconcerting. I can't talk with a cough drop in my mouth. That could be an issue. The The security guard remains surly and turns his attention to me. Let's be having you then. Weird sentence. He holds out his large hand, which I assume is an offer to help me off the boat, but as I reach out to take it, he snatches it away, throwing me off balance so that I almost fall over the side. What a great start. This guy sounds like a jerk. ID card. Oh, I see, of course. I reach into my back pocket and hand over the laminated card I was given on the mainland. Cat Island Security. Name Draven. Date issued 01/01/17. Continue. He barely looks at it before striding off, grunting over his shoulder. This way. I follow him down the dirt track path and get my first proper view of the island. It's beautiful, lush, and green. I'm already under its spell. After no more than a couple of minutes trekking, we're in base... Freaking coughed up. We're in base camp. Which consists of an assortment of tents and huts. Among them are two more solid-looking structures, one larger and one smaller. I presume these are the labs. The whole camp is moderate but functional. It reminds me of an army outpost. I'm struck by the lack of people. In fact, there's no one around apart from an older woman sitting outside peeling a pile of potatoes. I smile and give her a little nod, but she just stares back at me. The people here don't sound very friendly. Mrs. Marigold. I try not to get paranoid. Here. He stopped at the largest of the tents, indicating that I should go inside. I feel rude just walking in, so I make my presence known first. Hello? A firm but friendly voice calls out. Come! Oh god, it's a mess. I walk in, and there he is, hunched over some documents. The great Professor Purrfect. Sir, it's an honor to meet you. Yes, you must be Draven. Come on in, my dear. Glad to have you on board. Good journey? Well, long. Yes, indeed. We're rather tucked away here. Let me offer you some refreshment. Water, coffee, something stronger perhaps? Whiskey? I'm fine, thank you. Just some water if you have some. It would be rude to let you drink whiskey on your own. I'd love a cup of tea if there's a pot on the go. I mean, if this was like real life, I would totally go for the tea, so I think I should go for the tea. I'd love a cup of tea if there's a pot on the go. Ah, I can tell you're new. The tea here tastes like cat's piddle. You really don't want to drink it. He pours me a cup of coffee from his canteen instead. It's a good thing I like coffee. I actually don't like coffee, so I should have gone with the whiskey. With the water. It will take you a while to find your way around and discover how it all works, so for today I thought I would just get you kitted out and maybe introduce you to some of the locals. The cats, that is. I believe you've already met most of the human locals. Oh, I've only met the ferryman and the security guard who brought me here. Yes, that's about it. And the lady outside? Ah, Mrs. Marigold. Her and her husband are the caretakers. Wonderful couple, the Marigolds. You'll meet them before too long. We're a tidy little family here, Draven, and I'm sure you'll fit in nicely. Thank you, sir. I hope so. Okay, so first things first. This is your basic kit. He begins going through a pile of things on his desk, explaining each of them in turn. This is your backpack. You can put everything in it. We will be going on plenty of field trips, so it will be very useful. As will your own water bottle. Some disinfectant, hand spray. I honestly have no idea what this game is. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I know it's a story game, but... like I don't know why she's on this island. I don't know what's going on. These are heavy-duty reinforced gloves, which are essential when taking cats out in the wild. Oh. Don't want any scratches from felines. We don't... What? I read that weird. Don't want any scratches from felines we don't know now, do we? I suppose not. I shove each item into my new backpack as he gives them to me. Likewise, these goggles are to be brought along on all field trips. This slot here, he indicates to a small pile of what looks like laundry. His basic uniform, lab coats, masks, stethoscope, etc. Portable first aid kit, camping knife with all the tool attachments. Finally, and without doubt, most importantly, this. Ooh, looks fun. He holds up something that looks a lot like a mobile phone, except it clearly isn't one. This is your catalog. So punny. Catalog? Yes, the name comes from its earliest version. It was initially designed to record and store data on the cats, scan them, and log their details. But as you see, we've come a long way since then. Now you can use it to communicate with the rest of our team. I've added everyone's contact details for you. Listen to music, take photos. There's even a pen that comes with it to insert microchips into the back of the cat's neck so that we can keep track of them. Fun. It is a very valuable piece of equipment. Javen, and I need you to protect it above all else. Do you understand? He is looking me directly in the eye and clearly expects a response. Yes, sir, of course. I will look after it. Good. You'll get to know all of the functions as you go along, but for now I suggest we take a stroll out and see if we can't find a few friends to introduce you to so that you can try it out. He hands me the gadget. I feel a bit nervous taking charge of it, but also really keen to have a go. Alright. Let's get going. We head down to the beach, the professor explaining things as we go. The mixture of terrain on Cat Island is quite unique. Even in such a relatively small area, you'll find forests, mountains, jungles, beaches, woodland, all of these different geological and ecological zones in one place. It really is most remarkable. It certainly is. Even the lack of wildlife is, in itself, quite remarkable. What do you mean, Professor? Well, put simply, there is a type of force field that surrounds the island, disallowing anything to enter. What? You mean literally anything? Absolutely. No birds, fish, or creatures of any kind can penetrate it. Okay. Forgive my lack of intelligence on this subject, but we're here. The professor lets out a disconcertingly loud laugh. Ah, I see what you mean. Well, there is, of course, one small break in this invisible wall, and that is where we built the jetty. But let's not get too bogged down in all this right now. What you do need to know is that basically the island is shaped like a peanut. Okay? He has picked up a nearby stick and draws a simple map in the sand. This is our end of the island. It is very well known to us now. We've been researching here for many years. The other end is not so familiar to us. We have encountered difficulties that have hindered our progress in the region. Uh-oh. What type of difficulties, Professor? Well, we're not as sure as we'd like to be, but what I can tell you is that the environment has an adverse effect on upon humans, inducing nausea at the very least. At the worst? Fainting, migraines, possible nerve damage. Gosh, that is serious. What the heck? As to say, it's best to keep away, but let's not go into all that now, my dear. Oops, I accidentally clicked something outside of the screen and it disappeared. Let's bring that back. There we go. Okay. You've had a long day. For now, let's just say that we refer to the far end of the island as the danger zone, with good reason. I must ask you not to put yourself at risk by venturing beyond this mountain range here. He refers to the map once more, drawing a line just past the center and an X through the end section. There are wild, aggressive cats out there. I wouldn't want you getting too close to them, unlike our lovely fellows closer to home. Okay? He has led me to a spot where a few cats are lounging about. What do you say we try out your catalog now, Draven? He stoops down and picks up one of the animals, a disgruntled-looking cat. who is sleeping under the shade of a palm tree. Oh, that's a lovely looking cat. The cat lets out a displeased mewl but doesn't struggle. Its large body, billowing with long orange fur, just sort of hangs in the professor's arms in lazy resignation. Would you like to have a go at scanning this delightful chap? I find the on switch and somewhat timidly activate it. The gadget immediately comes to artificial life, emitting a boop, boop, boop sound with a red pulsating light. I select the app labeled CAT Scan. Of course it's labeled CAT Scan. And it loads instantly. There's no delay on this thing. The professor holds the cat toward me with arms outstretched. I'm sure he said the scanning chip is implanted into the back of the neck somewhere. But it's difficult to find this one's neck amid the thick cloud of fur. I blow to make a parting and press the catalog to his skin. It's a bit like scanning groceries in the supermarket where I used to work. That should do it. And he plops the Marmalade Tom back into the shade. Sure enough, upon withdrawal, I find the cat has been successfully scanned. Meow. Floofy Butt. Oh my god, this cat's name is Floofy Butt. Floofy Butt. He's male, 10 years, 4 months, a red tabby Persian, eye color red, Floofy Butt. Alright, amazing! Clever, isn't it? A large part of your job here... I almost choked on my cough drop. A large part of your job here will be to tag and scan the cats, such as Mr. Floofy Butt here. But it looks like you'll have no problems at all in that area. Excellent work, Draven. Thank you, sir. I can't wait to get started. Well, why don't you get a bit more practice with the catalog and scan the rest of them while we're here. These 5 spent a lot of time together. They're like a little family, aren't you? Oh, yes, you are. The professor seems to be a genuine cat lover like me. I think we're going to get on great. I think you would have to if you were working on an island full of cats and your purpose was to do stuff with the cats. Okay, here goes. No help this time. The professor steps back. The first cat I approach is very friendly with beautiful calico markings. It comes toward me, already purring. Meow. It's so cute. Trixie. She is 3 years, 8 months. Calico. I don't know if that's how you say it. Calico? Yeah, cat dating. I have no idea, Sporkle. I don't know what's going on. I got this game from the Humble Bundle and just checking it out. Eye color green. Next is an elegant, sleek, hairless cat. Ew, I hate hairless cats. They're so creepy. Sitting gracefully in the sun. She doesn't pay me much attention and allows me to scan her with minimal fuss. Ah! It's not cute. Meow. Snooty Booty. Its name is cute. Snooty Booty. 11 years, 1 month. I don't know how to say that word. Sphinx? I don't know. Blue eyes. The 4th cat I approach is a noisy one. Meow, 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 meow. McMurphy. He's 6 years, brown crossbreed with green eyes. He's cute. I like McMurphy. And finally, the one I've deliberately put off until last. He's been skulking around the edges of the activity, eyeing me suspiciously as though he could pounce at any moment. I laugh at myself, already projecting personalities onto these animals. Hiss! Kibbles. He's a 3-year-old, white British long hair with green eyes. Kibbles. All done. I hope you enjoyed meeting some of the locals. The professor lets out a little laugh. I have a feeling you'll get to know them quite well in time. That's probably enough for your first day, don't you think? It's quite a lot to take in. I am suddenly exhausted and grateful to be heading back to camp. Yeah, because scanning a few cats is just like, that's so much. So, I'm just so done with today. That's a lot of work. Saving. I guess she did travel here too. It's quite late by the time I've unpacked and settled myself, but I want to write my journal entry before I sleep. How did you make that big of a mess when you just got here? I'm surprised at how chilly it is. I have pulled my sleeping bag right up to my chin, but I feel goose pimples bloom over my arms. Shivering, I rub them to warm myself up. It makes me smile to think that this inherent reaction to the cold is what will be keeping my new feline friends warm tonight. My eyelids close, thinking of cats and the island and the professor. The world around me drifts away as I float up into a dream. Things went weird again. Okay. I'm not sure how long I've been asleep, but I wake with a violent jolt that leaves me sitting bolt upright. It's too dark to see anything, but I hear a rustling and then a strange electronic noise. One that in my sleepy confusion I can't place right away. Boop, boop, boop. The catalog! Acting on instinct, I scramble to my feet and follow the noise out of the tent. I look around me and my fears are confirmed when I catch a sight of pulsing red light getting fainter in the direction of the forest. I snap into action, running as fast as I can, barefoot, dressed in my pajamas, running at full speed into the forest in the dark of the night. You're not smart. I must be crazy. Yes, you must be. The words of Professor Popper are ringing in my ears. I need you to protect it above all else. Oh, there's cat statues. My legs are trembling beneath me. I stop feeling my heartbeat. Oh, jeez. I stop feeling my heartbeat heavy throughout my body. I wheeze in and out, my breath billowing in front of me in white puffs. I shouldn't feel like this. Why am I so dizzy? I try to get my bearings and realize I've blundered perilously close to the danger zone. Of course. Oh no. I can just make out the shapes of some large animals in front of me before my eyes close and I drop to my knees. Oh. Open my eyes. The calico cat I scanned yesterday is sitting in front of me. She drops the catalog at my feet. Okay. Oh. I pass out. Good. Good. I passed out. That's great. Hello, can you hear me? Floofy Butt? Floofy Butt can talk to me? Are you okay, McMurphy? I'm a cat, aren't I? I have turned into a cat. What is it? Kibbles. Kibbles. Don't be ridiculous, Kibbles. It's a human. Oh, never mind. I haven't turned into a cat. Oh yeah, yuck. I can smell it now. Smells like a human. Oh, do be quiet. Are they alive? Of course it's alive. It's breathing, you imbecile. Why isn't it moving? Would you come on and give them some space? Move back a little bit. Yeah, stand back. Move out of my way. Let me have a proper look. I begin to come to. The Sphinx cat is standing over me as I open my eyes. That would be a horrible awakening. We stare at each other for a moment while I try to take in what's happening. Is this one defective? Oh, I feel sick. I'm gonna puke. Cats watch me intently. Am I going insane? Ouch, my head. What is it chattering about? They're scared and confused. Let me talk to them. Human, are you alright? You, I remember you took my catalog. Oh, but I gave it back to you. It's back in your pocket now. I try to reach into my pocket and I realize my hands are scratched to shreds. Oh. Ow, 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 ow. What's wrong with my hands? I try to stand. Ow, ow, ow. My feet. What happened to me? Yeah, I guess that's from all the climbing. I told you it wasn't ready for that. What's that? Ready for what? Its anatomical structure is far too delicate. What is happening? I tried to slow it down. Yeah, Floof, you try restraining a human who's that determined. It was like a margay. What? Its anatomical structure didn't seem that delicate to me. I was like, a what? Doing what? You made your own way back to the beach. Okay, but that doesn't explain. I show my bleeding hands. Ah, you crawled. Kara? Kara? Who's Kara? That's not my name. It's a term of endearment. It's an Irish thing. It's inappropriate. Wait, I crawled? You sure did. Like a cat? Yep. All the way from the mountains. Like a bleeding mountain lion. Impressive. Okay, but why? Because you got the sickness. Shh. Maybe you should sit down, human. We need to have a talk. Possibly a long talk. What in the world is happening? Talk? Yes, that's right. Since when can cats talk? Oh, for goodness sake, since the dawn of time, how else do you think we communicate? Oh, stop splitting whiskers, Major. You know full well what the human is saying. I think the revelation here, Kara, is that you can understand us. Yes, that too. Will someone please explain what the hell is going on here? Well, we don't fully understand everything ourselves, at least not all the details of how this works. I think being stood in a forest surrounded by a bunch of talking cats is about as much detail as anybody would want. I agree, and more to the point, we were rather hoping you would be able to help us. You are the scientist, after all. What we do know is that the clock has started ticking for you. What do you mean? Well, there's no easy way to say this to you, Kara. You'll be catified. Yeah, I knew I was going to turn into a cat. I'll be what? Whether you help or not, you don't have a lot of time before... if I may. It would seem, and we are basing this on our experiences to date, that when a human manages to find themselves in what I believe you call the danger zone, they are vulnerable in ways that they previously were not. That is to say, you're screwed! You're not helping. Don't make me... Hiss. Whoa, mountain lion, there'll be no violence of any kind. Forgive me for being a bit panicked here. The vulnerability to which Snooty Booty was referring is simply put, if you are bitten or scratched by an elder cat within the danger zone, you will begin a process of change that ultimately will result in a full feline transition. Whispers, catified. So basically, you're telling me I'm a werecat? I look down, and in amongst the scratches on my right hand are two distinct puncture marks. The reality of my situation descends on me like a cold mist. Basically, yes. My head is spinning. This is too much for me to take in. Take a breath now, Kara. You're not looking so good. What? Have I started to change? I feel my head for ears, fur. Everything seems to be normal. No, I just mean you're looking a bit shaky, understandably so. I take a few deep breaths, steady breaths, and calm myself enough to say, okay, so why? How? What? Give me some data. What have you got so far? Look, we'll answer anything that we can, but the truth is we have more questions than answers ourselves. So, you said you need my help. What exactly would that entail? Well, finding our friends would be a start. The cats on this island, they're going missing. We don't know what's happening to them, but the body count is rising and we've hit a wall. A wall of ignorance, maybe. Really, how many times do I have to tell you? The Muellers are to blame. Muellers? Now, Floofy Butt, there is no need for name-calling. Speaking of name-calling, I'll remind you to call me Major, madame. Look, they can't help the way they are. It's lack of breeding, you know. Overbreeding, if you ask me. Again, Muellers? They're the elder cats, the island's originals. They can't speak the way we can, hence the derogatory term, Muellers. And how are they to blame exactly? Well, if I knew that, there would have been no need for this elaborate kidnapping. It's hardly proving to be a roaring success after all. Look, Kara, all we really know is that we are no longer safe on this island. The elders who live within the danger zone are hostile toward us. Not sure why, it's just always been that way, and now because cats are being taken, nowhere else is safe either. You expect the occasional mishap. We live in an undomesticated world here, after all. But lately, cats have been disappearing almost every day. Even the last human we catified went missing. I'm sorry, what? Let's not open old wounds, Kibbles. Oh gosh. Yes, onwards and upwards. Well, first things first, this werecat thing. Catification. Transition. Whatever. How does it work? Time passes, then you transform into a cat. Yeah. It's a gradual process. It's different for everyone, but you won't just turn overnight. The clock is ticking, however. The first side effect of the transition is being able to understand us. Well, some of us. Not the elders, obviously. Not all the domestics either. Then you have the whole heightened senses thing, the increased agility, the crazy body hair stuff. Let's not worry the human with all the details just yet. I assume there's an antidote? I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed in that assumption. Hang on, you said there was someone else who you'd put in this position. Well, let's hope you're a better bet than they were. Unfortunately, they weren't able to discover an antidote or get our friends back. I know where their notes are, though. Really? Trade. Huh? You help us, and I'll give you their progress reports. So what do you say, Kara? Will you help us? Yeah, I'll help the kitties. Not much of a choice, really, is it? Afraid not. Okay, fine. So where do I start? Is there anything you can tell me that will help me track down your missing friends? Will no one listen to sense? Start with the Muellers, and I'll eat my hat if it doesn't end there too. Don't mind him. He's set in his ways. We have every reason to believe that abductions take place in your part of the island. Yes, nowhere near the danger zone or the elders. Well, that doesn't make much sense, but I suppose nothing does around this place. My catalog starts beeping. Oh, my alarm. I have to get to work. You run along now. We don't want you arousing suspicion with your people. You can meet us with us later. I'll make sure those reports are in your tent before this evening. Thanks, Kara. You're 1 in a million. I imagine the odds are far greater than that, given your new health status. Go. And thanks from all of us. Thanks? I mean, you literally lured me so I'd get turned into a cat. You're rude. After a rather painful journey, I am very grateful to finally limp into camp. I have just enough time to get myself tidied up for work, and I'm about to peel off my filthy pajamas when I hear my catalog beeping. I have a message, but I can't tell who it's from. It's not from any of the contacts that Professor Purrfect programmed into it. In fact, there's no contact information at all. Are you sure it is wise to trust anyone? What on earth does that mean? Who is this? There's a lot you don't know. Think carefully about who you confide in. Okay. Before I can think of a reply, the messages are gone and my catalog has no record of them. Interesting. I don't have any time to think about this right now. I need to get ready. As soon as I'm presentable, I head over to the lab. I'm 10 minutes late. It doesn't give a good impression on my first morning. Ah, Draven, good to see you. I was beginning to worry. Did you oversleep on your first day? I'm terribly sorry, sir. I think the traveling and all the excitement of yesterday. I take punctuality very seriously. Obviously, we're late. He cuts across my apology. Not to worry, it's perfectly understandable. You'll find I'm quite relaxed about most things. As long as you get the work done, I don't much mind what hours you keep. Thank you, sir. So, shall we get started? My goodness, what on earth happened to you? He's looking at the scratches all over my hands. Oh, I fell and tried to save myself by grabbing onto a bush. Not a secret drinker, are you, Draven? Oh no, sir. I'm a bit of a lightweight, to tell you the truth. It's probably good I didn't choose the whiskey option then, because he would have been like, oh my gosh, she's a drunk. Just teasing. We ought to get those hands sorted out, though. They look pretty nasty to me. He goes to the tall metal cabinet in the corner and takes out a bottle and some cotton wool. He begins cleaning and tending to my hands while he talks. For today, I'd like you to help me with a few tasks around the lab to get the hang of things. But from tomorrow, I'll let you make your own choices about how best to carve up your time. course, you are primarily here to carry out your job as my research assistant. However, try to make the most of your time on the island. Once your work is completed, we'll be saying goodbye. This really is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so don't waste it all in the lab. I'm going to turn into a cat, so we won't really be saying goodbye. I'll be on this island as a cat. Naturally, I need your help around here, but I'd also like you to get your hands dirty with some field work. Make sure you spend time exploring the island. It's a beautiful place. And there's a lot to see. Take the time to get to know the cats. A full understanding of their behavior is crucial to our research. I can't speak. I think it's because I have to talk a lot for this game story. There is plenty to see and do. However, you must be careful not to overwork. Take regular rest and relaxation. We don't want you to burn yourself out now, do we? I'll try to get the balance right. That's the spirit. So there you are. He's done a first-class job on my wounds, and they aren't bothering me nearly as much. I spend the rest of the day with the professor, getting to know how the various pieces of equipment in the lab work, finding out where everything is, and learning some of the basic duties I will be performing routinely. By the end of the day, I'm exhausted. I make my way to my tent. I'm about to flop in my bed when I see a package poking out from underneath it. It's the reports that Kibbles promised to deliver. The cats were right. The previous person barely made a start on producing an antidote. I'm gutted and worried. What if I can't do any better? Will I just turn into a cat? I decide that's not an option and resolve to get going on my own research and into it tomorrow. My instincts tell me that the cats will be a good starting point. I have a feeling they know a lot more than they're prepared to tell me. I need to gain their trust and see if I can't get them to open up a bit. I'm sure I'll make more progress if I focus on one at a time. I'm optimistic that one-to-one sharing will prove fruitful. It's a small glimmer of hope. Tonight, I'm not fit for anything. I can barely even write in my journal before I fall asleep. First morning of waking... What? It's not the first morning of waking up on the island. That was yesterday. Whatever. The first morning of waking up on the island. I'm so excited to discover what the day will bring. Should I jump straight into lab research, or maybe it would be wise to start investigating a way to help these cats and find a cure for myself? Perhaps a good starting point would be to get to know the cats a little better on a one-to-one basis. Saving. What should I do today? Oh, okay. Let's do some recon. What? Strange message in the middle of the night. Doesn't anyone on this island sleep? That security guard I met when I arrived might be a good lead. Time for a bit of interrogation work. Yeah, let's do that one. Start. So I guess this is where the game really begins? I don't know. I've been staring at the back of his head for a long time now. Too long. I'm starting to feel creepy. I just don't understand it. All he does is sit in that chair by the dock, eating egg sandwiches and doing crossword puzzles. How does a man like that become the security guard for a place like this? As far as I can tell, his job consists of greeting the boat to make sure nothing unauthorized gets on or off of it, picking up supply deliveries, and occasionally taking a long, lazy lap of the island to make sure everything's secure? I wonder what he knows about the research that goes on here, if anything. He doesn't seem to be interested, regardless. I decide it's time to get to know this island bouncer, and I'd go to join him at the dock. I sit next to Zane, me on the sand, him in that chair. He's not wearing his big coat, and the short sleeve shirt allows me to notice for the first time how surprisingly muscular he is. I never truly thought of him as security in the bodyguard sense, but now, squinting at him sideways, trying not to stare too obviously, I begin to see him in a new light. I pluck up the courage to talk. Hi Zane, how are you? Are you trying to start a conversation? He says this without looking up from his crossword puzzle. Obviously I'm trying to start a conversation. What kind of stupid question is that? Oh, I suppose I am, yes. I don't get to chat to humans much in my job. Research Assistant 125. He rolls the words out like he's reading them. Oh, Yes, I guess that's me. So what does the number stand for anyhow? You don't know? He asks monotonously, eyes still glued to his crossword puzzle. No, actually, to be honest, Zane, I don't know much at all. There's a definite lack of intel sharing on this project. Which project would that be? This one, the whole research project that's going on. Is there more than one? Depends who you ask. You. I was just asking you, really. I don't understand your job. I don't need to. I don't care about things I don't need to. What do you care about? Zane looks at me for the first time. You really want to talk, don't you? Well, there's not much else to do here. Besides, I'm interested in it all, aren't you? My interest consists of what's for dinner and when my next puzzle book's coming. When it's coming, you get it delivered, comes with the mail. He's back to not looking at me again. The mail? You mean the parcels? And the letters, yeah. The letters? Who would go to the trouble of sending mail all the way out here when we have email? I laugh, but Zane looks very serious. It's safer sending mail the old-fashioned way. With email, there's viruses, hackers, worms, cyber terrorists. Someone's paranoid. I get the feeling he's not very tech-savvy. Yeah, but anyone can open and read a letter, right? Not if I'm around, and besides, who would suspect that something important would be in a fragrant pink envelope? There's an awkward silence. Of course, being my usual socially inept self, I'm desperate to fill it. Need any help with that crossword? I'm pretty good. I can even do the cryptic puzzle in the Daily Inquirer. This line usually gains me a little kudos, but Zane simply ignores me. I decide to just come out and say what's on my mind. I mean, it can't make things more awkward than they already are. Zane, have you ever noticed anything strange going on here? Cats behaving weirdly. Zane suddenly looks up, his eyes locking straight on mine, unwavering and hard. No. Have you? Well, not exactly, but... He's looking at me properly for the first time since we met. I have definitely captured his attention, but I'm too nervous to follow through. I'm just being silly. The lack of human company can get to me. Gives me daft ideas. You literally have been here for like a day and a half. Such as? He's still staring at me as though he's trying to read my mind. Sometimes when I'm out tagging, I feel they're playing games on me, like children, hide and seek, that kind of thing. Some of those cats may be cleverer than any of us give them credit for. Now it's my turn to be intrigued. In what way? They know when to stay out of the sun. You're going pink. The moment, if there was one, is over. I decide maybe Zane isn't the best person to talk to about my concerns. Feeling unwanted and slightly dejected, I decide to head back to camp. I stand up and brush the sand off of me. What's a 5-letter word for solitude? Alone. Zane silently scribbles in his book as I leave. Okay. My antidote is at 1.4%. Well, let's do some research. Today I'm off on a field trip of sorts with the professor. I can't wait to see what he's planning to show me. Time to round up some rowdy kitties. A slow day today. I've only got to organize a few samples from previous field trips. Well, let's go with rounding up some rowdy kitties. It's a sunny afternoon. Most of the cats are lazing on the beach. Perfect. Like shooting fish in a barrel. Don't shoot kitties. I don't shoot fish either. I double check my supply list. Crate, treats, sedatives, snare, catnip, antiseptic cream for myself. I've got everything. I have a sick feeling in my tummy, but I ignore it as best I can. This is going to be a challenge, but I'm pleased the professor is trusting me with with the more physical tasks. I walk out onto the beach, feeling like the child catcher. I keep reminding myself that I'm doing this for the greater good, even if it makes me unpopular with the cats. I set up the crate in an unsuspecting location and keep the snare hidden behind my back. At first, I stroll around, trying to look as casual as possible. Whistling a tune as I walk, I get close to one of the smaller cats. I start to stroke her. I want this to be as painless as possible. The cat responds well to me. She even starts to purr gently. Are you going to come with me? The cat looks at me with big, wide, loving eyes. Come on then. I pick the cat up, carry her to the crate, and place her gently inside. I lock it shut, even though the cat makes no attempt to escape. Well, that went better than expected. This may be a good day after all. Emboldened by my success, I approach one of the slightly larger cats. Hey, matey, shall we get in the basket? I give him a little stroke. He doesn't respond badly, although he doesn't seem particularly interested either. I put my hands on either side of his body. I almost said booty. Ready to pick him up. He doesn't look happy about it and growls a warning at me. Hey, mister, it's going to be okay. We're just going on a little trip, alright? As soon as I start to lift, all hell breaks loose. Yowling and hissing, he scratches my arms to ribbons. I try to get him into the basket, but he stretches out and I can't fit him in. Oh, ow, oh no. I know when I'm defeated and I have to let him go. He scarpers off into the distance. I look down at my ravaged arms. Note to self, wear long sleeves when on caging duty. At least I got one. I don't really know what the point of all that was, but I guess we'll try some romancing. Oh my gosh, this is weird. I'm gonna date a cat? Let's date McMurphy. What? Kara, wake up. Huh? Mommy, is that you? What? Shh, quiet, Kara. Come with me. I have something to show you, but you have to be quiet. McMurphy? Yes, it's me. But it's the middle of the night. Ah, Kara, you're not scared, are you? Why would I be scared? Creeping around at a forest in the middle of the night? Don't worry, Kara. I'll be there to protect you. McMurphy, you know very well that there's a force field around this island stopping anything from the outside getting in. It makes this a pretty safe place. Indeed, so the only things you have to worry about are the things that are already here. He leers at me with a mock snarl. Seriously, Murph, if you're the worst threat here, then this is the safest place on Earth. So come on, Kara, what are you waiting for? I follow the scraggy cat into the forest. The ground is wet and muddy, and I lose my footing a couple of times, but McMurphy is too determined to notice. Suddenly, he stops dead in his tracks. Here we are. Where's here, McMurphy? He ignores my question and starts digging into some mud and leaves on the ground. Almost got it. Could use a hand, Kara, if you don't mind. Get these leaves out of the way. That's it. Here we go. Or whatever it said. We keep digging until there's a fairly deep hole in the ground. My arms and nightclothes are covered in mud and leaves, and McMurphy looks like a bog monster in the darkness. Ta-da! Ta-da! Can't you see it, Kara? I'm not sure what I'm looking at. I always forget how useless human eyes are in the dark. Just reach into the hole and take out whatever you find. I reluctantly reach into the burrow and feel something hard and cold against my hand. I wrap my fingers around it and pull it out. I know the shape, but my eyes can hardly process it. It's a bottle? That's right, Kara. This is my secret stash. No one knows about it, not a soul, but I thought I'd share it with you. Thought we could have a kind of welcome to the island party for two. Secret stash? Is this booze? McMurphy lets out a wild laugh. That it is, Kara. You drink alcohol, but you're a cat. That can't be good for your body. It's not good for any bodies, but it does wonders for the soul, to be sure. Well, I suppose you're right there, McMurphy. I guess one little nip couldn't hurt. That's the spirit. I try in vain to get some of the mud off of me before giving up and sitting down against the tree. A sodden McMurphy curls up in my lap. It takes a while to uncork the bottle. McMurphy keeps telling me to smash it open and that the shards of glass will only add to the flavor, but eventually I succeed my way. Yeah, the shards of glass will add to the flavor, my butt. I pour a little out for McMurphy into a leaf and I self-consciously swig from the bottle, feeling a touch uncivilized. Arg, McMurphy, what in heaven's name is this? Ew. Ah, now don't worry about that, Kara. It's not about the taste, it's about the company. I hardly think I'm the type of person you'd usually hang around with. Well, I usually hang around with cats, and they're not exactly what you call my type. I respond by widening my eyes as I take another swig from the bottle. Somehow it tastes less terrible the second time around. I find humans much more interesting. They usually have a lot to say. Present company accepted. McMurphy winks at me with his huge green eyes, and I blush, trying desperately not to show how boring I feel compared to him. Don't take it harsh, I'm only joking, Kara. McMurphy, I've been meaning to ask you something for a while now. Anything, Kara, ask away. I'd love for us to get to know each other better. This Kara thing, you know my name is... The rest of my sentence is drowned out by McMurphy's howls of laughter. Ah, you make me laugh, Kara, you really do. I know exactly what your name is, Draven. Kara is just a... It's like a pet name, you know? Kara means friend, buddy, amigo. It's something my mammy used to call people, and I guess it just stuck. It's one of the few things I remember about her, actually. That and her beautiful smile. Hey, flash me your pearly whites. I smile at McMurphy awkwardly. He bursts into fits of laughter again. Ah, that's a lovely smile to be sure, but you need to grow into it yet. Could I have a top-up over here? I don't know if I feel comfortable giving you more alcohol, McMurphy. I think you've had more than enough. In fact, I didn't even want to give you any in the first place. What in the world is this game? Did you not know that cats have 9 lives, and you want to waste them all on booze? And why not? Besides, the night is still young, and we've only just begun our conversation. Come on, Kara. We've a lot of chin wagging to do yet. Are you going to pour or not? Okay, I gotta get on their good side, right? So I guess... Cheers! Cheers! Part of me thinks I ought to be a responsible human here and cut off your alcohol supplies, but I believe in a true democracy. Would you care to expand on that and perhaps pour the drinks as you do? The true democratic principle that none shall have power over the people, cats, whatever. How inspirational. I'll toast to that. All right, McMurphy, but on your head be it. For with the rejection of authority comes the responsibility for bearing the consequences of your actions. Deep. I pour some more of the suspect liquor into McMurphy's soggy leaf. Slante? I don't know what that says. I don't know how things work in cat protocol, but in human terms, you are a very mature... No, wait. Very grown-up adult. Oh, fiddlesticks. You're over a certain age, and as such can take responsibility for your own choices. I like it. Spoken like a true libertine. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I can shake my tail when I feel the vibe. What? I can't believe I just said that. This stuff is stronger than it looks. My proverbial hat is off to you. I feel disproportionately pleased that Murph has paid me a compliment. Say, Kara, you ever been in love? McMurphy, that second leaf has gone straight to your head. The cat smiles slyly. Ah, I'm going to take that as a yes. Are you still with them? Well, I was never technically with them to begin with. Ouch. Well, it's definitely their loss. Oh, I don't think so, McMurphy. We never actually met. So you weren't in love then. You're not saying you're one of those, internet stalker types, are you? Them catfish that Kibbles tells tales of? No, McMurphy, gosh. It was Bowie, okay? I was in love with David Bowie, you know? McMurphy frowns and shakes his furry head. See, oh god, she's drunk now. Oh god. See these eyes so green I can stare for 1,000 years, you know? Ah, that's a charming song, but I'm afraid I have no idea what's going on anymore. Oh, come on, McMurphy. Everyone knows who David Bowie is. Red hair, lots of makeup, one blue eye, one brown eye. Well, I did know one sweet soul with a blue eye and a brown eye, and I can assure you they wouldn't be caught dead in makeup. McMurphy snorts. Well, what about you, McMurphy? Who's the love of your life? Don't have one, Kara. Never have, never will. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a free agent. I'm a big old yeti out in the mountains, all hairy and smelly and alone. For some reason, I find that very hard to believe, Mr. Hick McMurphy. Fine, you're right. I'm a fool. A lovesick fool. I've had my heart broken more than once, Kara, and each time hurt more than the last, I tell you. The thing is, though, Kara, I can't remember a thing about any of them. Any of what? I don't know, Hick. What were we talking about? David Bowie? Ah, that's right. So tell me how the two of you met. McMurphy, I think I'm drunk. Hick, what the hell have we been drinking? Ah, leave me alone. I haven't touched a drop. Ugh, I think I'm gonna vom. What? I wake up in the forest with a half-empty bottle in my hand and McMurphy is nowhere to be seen. How the hell did I get here? I can't remember a thing. I look at my catalog. Whoa, was that really the time? Crikey, I need to get to work. What in the world? This game is strange. I gotta rest. You had a lovely nap and wake up feeling revitalized. Your energy has been restored. Magic. Okay. Well, let's do some recon. Recon 10. A strange message in the middle of the night. I hear my catalog beeping. I presume it's the professor. I tumble out of bed half asleep and fumble around looking for the device. I look at the screen. My eyes struggle to focus. This message isn't from the professor at all. There's no contact information. Come outside. Who is this? Come outside. They obviously aren't going to respond to my question. Should I do as the message tells me? Yep. Yep, we should. My curiosity is roused. I have a feeling there's something important to learn from this stranger, so I throw on my clothes and crawl out of my tent. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. Anyone out here? My catalog beeps again. Walk to the edge of the forest. I'm not going any further until you tell me who you are. Walk to the edge of the forest. No. Walk to the edge of the forest. Well, they're persistent. Walk to the edge of the forest. Walk to the edge of the forest. Stop it. By now I realize I've walked to the edge of the forest. At the edge of the forest, I see something on the ground. As I get closer, it becomes clear that it's a small posy of flowers. I gingerly pick them up and notice that several of the flower heads are missing. My catalog beeps again. Follow the petals. That's when I see the trail of little orange petals, the same color as the bouquet I'm holding. Well, I've come this far, no turning back now. I begin to walk. I'm nervous, so I call out. Hello? No answer, louder this time. Hello? Hello? It's Floofy Butt. Hello, who is that? Who goes there? Major, is that you, Floofy Butt? I really wish you wouldn't call me that, human. What on earth do you think you're playing at? Cavorting around the forest in the dead of night, causing a ruckus? Oh, Major, you don't know how pleased I am to see you. I need your help. And this can't wait until a civilized hour? I'm afraid it can't. I'm not the one instigating this. I've been getting messages from an anonymous source asking me to follow them into the forest. Look, they've left this trail. Ah, Calendula maritima, marigolds, herb of the sun. They're said to represent creativity, though some believe them to be a symbol of cruelty and grief. Huh. Your knowledge is always so impressive, but I have to say on this occasion it's not very comforting. Floofy Butt goes striding off with purpose. Come along then, Draven. Are we going to follow this trail or not? I shuffle awkwardly behind him. Before the sun comes up, eh? We continue on for a short while and notice that the petals are getting more sparse. It's becoming more difficult to see them until eventually they seem to run out and we find ourselves at a small clearing. Well, it appears somebody has been playing a joke on you, Draven. I sadly agree. This has been nothing but a wild goose chase. Seems so, Major. I'm sorry for dragging you into this. Let's get back to our beds before we waste any more precious snooze time on this fool. I turn to Floofy Butt and notice that his back is arched and his fur is puffed up, making him look even more floofy than usual. Something wrong, Major? You tell me, human, does that pile of rocks look suspicious to you? Amongst myriad rock piles, I noticed a small, contrived-looking cairn. Floofybutt's right. It looks far from natural. That looks to me like it's asking to be inspected, Major. Well, get to it, Draven. You're the one with the thumbs. I begin to dismantle the small mound, rock by rock. It's not until the foundation stone is removed that we find a manila envelope. Major, look, it's a letter. Looks rather large for a letter, my dear. I think you ought to open it. Here or back at base? Having got you this far, I think it's only fair that I have an equal share of the spoils. Spoils? Yes, perhaps we should look right now, Major. As I'm speaking, I've torn into the envelope. Well, out with it. It looks like drawings? What sort of drawings? I'm not sure, but they look quite old, antique even. But do they have value, human? Probably, to someone. They appear to be sketches of people here on the island, but I don't recognize anyone. Why would someone lead me to these? How do you know you were meant to find them? Because we followed a trail and it led us here. Actually, the trail ended a while back. This could be a mere coincidence. I hardly see the intrigue in a few old scribbles. They show no artistic flair at all. Even so, I'm going to hang onto these to see if they prove relevant to whatever mystery is unfolding here on this island. Floofybutt rolls his eyes. You really ought to focus more on the clues that matter instead of running around in the middle of the night on wild goose chases. Let's head back before anybody discovers you're missing. I rolled up the drawings and tucked them into my waistband. I will study them when I have more time. I think Floofybutt is probably right, but I don't want to miss a trick. Get some rest now, Draven. Okay. Finally, a sensible suggestion. I head after Floofybutt, struggling to keep up. I really need some sleep. That was different. This whole game is weird. Like, I'm supposed to date cats? Like, that's a little strange. Guess I'll do some more romancing, more dating. Oh. I've upset Snooty Booty. I can only date McMurphy because I upset Snooty Booty. Okay. I guess we could go on another date, McMurphy. Stretch. I'm sweltering in the mess tent. Typical for me to get cook duty on the hottest day so far. I step out for a moment to try to catch some air. Psst. I'm not sure if I really heard something or if the dehydration is getting to me. I take a swig from my water bottle. Speaking of water bottle. Hey, aren't you gonna share, Kara? Oh, McMurphy, was that you psting? What are you suggesting, Kara? I only use the designated litter areas. Murph, you are incorrigible. You know exactly what I meant. Come on, Kara, never mind all that. We have work to do. I am working. I'm supposed to be cooking for this evening. I mean, work of the adventuring variety. Oh, of course you do. Ah, come on, don't be such a bore. I'm sorry, McMurphy, but I can't. I'm very busy here. It's going to take hours to defrost and braise this meat from the mainland. Well, if you come with me, you may end up providing a much... Wait, it's going to take hours to defrost it. Well, then just leave it. Defrosting. You don't need to do anything while it defrosts. Anyway, you may end up providing a much tastier dish in half the time. What do you say, Kara? You up for the crate? What are you saying? You mean I should just bunk off? That's the spirit. Strip off your apron and let's hit the trail. But I can't just... What if someone comes looking for me? Leave him a note. Gone fishing. Maybe it's the heat, but I'm overcome with a moment of madness. Well, okay then. You wild Irish rover, I'm all yours. Now there's a thought. Before I can answer, he slunk into the thickening of the forest behind the clay cooking pits. I wipe off my apron and follow behind. Wait, Murph, it's too hot to run. Then we really ought to cool ourselves off, eh? He's led me up to the cliffs and without warning takes a running jump off the edge. I see him flying through the air and watch mesmerized as he cuts through the water. Oh no, Murphy, are you okay? Don't panic, I'm coming. I kick off my flip-flops and shorts and follow him into the water. I'm surprised at how shallow it is and that I'm easily able to stand. You probably shouldn't have jumped off a cliff then if you're easily able to stand. Murph, where are you? I frantically search about, fearing for his safety, and suddenly feel something brush against my legs, making me scream out loud. What's that? I look down into the clear water and see McMurphy speeding along the seabed like a shark, fast and sleek, and suddenly breaking up through the surface with something in his mouth. McMurphy, you can swim? What on earth is that thing? Oh my, it's a fish. Wait, why were we able to get into the water? This makes no sense. I thought there was a barrier around the island. This game makes no sense. I can see he's smiling even with the sprat in the way. You can fish? He spits the fish back into the water. There truly is no end to my talents, Kara. You can say that again, but I have so many questions I don't even know where to start. Catch your breath, Kara. I know I'm exhilarating company, but you need to exercise a little bit of restraint or you'll be spooning on me next. Relax, the salt water is very buoyant. I copy McMurphy and we both lie with our backs on the surface. It's very calming and tranquil, and I'm finally able to collect my thoughts. I realize I've not had this much clarity in a long time. This is so cool. I know, Trixie took me here first, calls it the Ponder Pool. Oh, can you all swim then? I thought cats... Before I can even finish my sentence, McMurphy cuts in. It's a common misconception that cats can't swim. As you can see, it's another thing we excel at. So humble, too. As Nana McMurphy used to say, if you've got a trumpet, blow it. What about the fish? Where did they come from? There are no birds or fish on this island. It's one of the first things they tell you in orientation. Thank you, that's what I thought. That's just because they don't know. Don't know what? It's better if I just show you. Come on, Kara, follow me. We swim for a while with McMurphy leading the way with purpose, and then he stops. Well, notice anything interesting? Well, the water is much cooler and deeper here. Anything else? Can you feel anything? I stand perfectly still for a moment and begin to feel a strange sensation around my legs, like a warm trickling under the water. McMurphy, are you peeing? Don't be so crude, Kara. It's a current. Look over there. I refocus my eyes until they see that what I thought was a rock shadow is moving, comes closer into focus, and I realize it's a shoal of small fish darting in and out of one particular spot. What is that? I don't understand what I'm looking at. Isn't it enough to just see, Kara? To experience? Do you always have to understand everything? Well, yes, that's my job. It's who I am, McMurphy. I'm a scientist. It's in my DNA to seek to understand. Come on then, scientists, let's take a closer look. We move closer to the area where the fish are gathered. They stop doing things and stuff happens. They gotta leave. She's gonna understand it later. I wouldn't waste your time, Kara. It wouldn't be a waste. I am committed to finding out all It cuts across me as I'm speaking. I meant coming back to this particular spot. The fish won't be here. Oh, I see. It's only at certain times and different locations. It changes all the time. There's no pattern to it either. So you just be sticking pins in maps, Kara. I brought you here because I saw them this morning. Chances are they'll be gone by this afternoon. The disappointment must be apparent on my face because McMurphy switches lanes super fast to distract me. Okay, Kara, it's time to strip off. Huh? That t-shirt would make a lovely net. Let's go fishing. Oh, I see. Should I go fishing or go home? Let's go fishing. I whip off my top and use it as a net to scoop up as many fish as possible. It's quite effective. Great idea, Murph. Now you can rustle up a tasty fish supper in no time at all, and you get to enjoy my company for an extra hour. Win-win, Kara. Okay, so now I have a little challenge for you. That, Kara, is music to my ears. There's little I like more than a gauntlet thrown. Well, it's hardly a gauntlet, more a brain teaser. How am I going to explain to the rest of my team this bountiful ocean offering? Why tell them anything at all? Because they're going to notice that we're eating something that wasn't on the delivery list or the menu wrote up, and tastes way too fresh for something recently defrosted. You worry far too much about things that really don't matter, Kara. I know he's right. I could do with loosening up a little, but this is a pretty big dilemma, really. Maybe I have to tell Professor Popper about this. What's the harm? Mac has stopped splashing around and looks me squarely in the eyes. There would be harm, Kara. Trust me on that. Obviously, I don't mean I'd tell him about you or anything that would endanger any of us, just that I noticed the shoal of fish and took some. End of. You really think you can mention a phenomenon like this and that would be the end of it? That he wouldn't start putting all manner of investigations and disruptions in place? You are touchingly naive, my friend. I feel myself blush. I'm being a bit naive, but I don't like the thought of lying. So what do you suggest then? If you know so much about everything, give me a plausible story and I'll follow through. McMurphy lets out a wild howl and splashes water at me. Now that's what I like to hear, you impetuous daredevil, you. I splash him back and a furious water fight ensures. I don't know how comfortable I am with this. Like, she's like flirting with a cat. They're dating. What is happening in this world? This is very strange. We are making such a ruckus, and I'm amazed no one comes to check what's going on. After a good 10 minutes of laughter and play, we run out of steam and float in the buoyant, warm water. Let's hear it then, Oz. Where's my cover story? It's a very simple case of brazen bluffing. Okay. Make a simple but delicious meal, and if anyone should ask where the fish came from, shrug your shoulders and ask the same question. Huh? It's all in the poker face. You remain completely impassive and ask the same question. Yeah, I wondered that too. Where did the fish come from? They're delicious. Really? Trust me, Kara, as a cat who is forever risking one of his 9, the simpler you keep it, the more they buy it. If they ask you where you got them from, you tell them the fridge. Simple. I feel quite giddy at the prospect of getting away with a ruse. Okay, Murph, let's gather the supper. We have an abundance in no time, and I haul my catch back to the kitchen in good time to make a tasty meal for everyone and a little extra for my feline pals. That's so weird. This whole thing is so weird. Okay, I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Very, very soon. How do I do the thing? There we go. I'll be right back. I have returned. I have to move over. There we go. Okay. Oh. Oh. Oh, what shall I do? Recon? Research? Recon. Let's do some recon. Okay. Oh. Never mind. I can't. There are none that are free, so never mind. We'll do some research. We're gonna go on a field trip with the professor. Let's do it. Gotta be ready and dressed for hiking. Sturdy shoes. Let's go. Oh, got a message. Professor Popper. Set to go. I'm waiting outside my tent. Ah, Draven, are you ready for our field work? Yes, I am. Where are we going? You're gonna find this interesting. Hands me a backpack. Here, take this bag. It's very full, but surprisingly light. Popper has set off at a brisk pace. This way. I run to catch up. I'm abbreviating things now, like, because it's a lot of reading. He stops abruptly and listens. Do you hear that? There's a distant sound of bubbling water. We're almost there. Okay, good, good. Just a little climbing. Climbing? I hide my dismay. Where does he get his energy from? It's just at the top there. It's not as difficult to climb as it looks. We're in front of an almost vertical rock face. Just copy me. Okay, we're going up. Oh, I slipped and fall fat on my bum. Try again. This time I take it slow. Again, I fall. What happened to the benefits of catification that others keep going on about? The professor notices I'm having trouble and holds a hand out for me. I manage to climb up just enough to take hold of him, and he lifts me the rest of the way. His strength is impressive. Curious, even. So he's already using some sort of variant of this. He's stealing the cats and using them to gain superpowers. Not a fan of climbing, eh? Can't say I've done much of it, Professor. Come along then, I can get you there. He pretty much pulls me all the way to the top. And there's a small cave, running water, it's very loud. A natural spring. Beautiful, looks delicious. I kneel down without thinking. I begin to drink. It tastes amazing. As I come up for breath, I see the professor looking at me with suspicion. You should know better. It is never wise, under any circumstance, to ingest something that is unproven, but here on this island it would be prudent to exercise more caution than usual. I feel embarrassed at my lack of consideration. Yes, of course, sir. I wasn't thinking. I felt so thirsty and it looked so good. I do understand. Many have made the same error. Fortunately for you, this is tried and tested for safe consumption. It's good, don't you think? My body feels suddenly re-energized. I feel like I could climb any wall. It's incredible. I feel fantastic. What's in it? We don't know. That's why we're here. We need more samples. We've been studying this water for months now. We still know very little about it. Check your bag. Okay. It's filled to the brim with empty plastic bottles. We'll need to fill all these with water. Okay. By the time all the bottles are full and back in my bag, it weighs a ton, but I feel like I can lift anything. The powers of the water is great. His backpack's also full. Let's get these back on. Let's go. They climb down and back to camp. No problem keeping up with the professor. I feel I could run all the way. However, as we get closer to home, I start to feel the effect wear off. My bag becomes unbearably heavy. The final limp into camp is torture. I need to rest. Alright. That was something. I guess we should rest. I'm in class at my university. The tutor is late and we're all sitting waiting. I turn to my friend who sits behind me to make a joke about the tutor's car breaking down, but my friend isn't there. Instead, there's a giant cat. Ah! It looks like an elder. It bares its teeth at me and lets out a menacing, low growl. Just as I'm about to scream, the tutor arrives, but it's Professor Purrfect. You look like you've seen a ghost, Draven. I'm trying to answer back, to tell him to look behind me, but the words won't come out. I'm rigid with fear, can't move, can't speak, can't scream. Everyone else is acting like things are normal. Can't they see it? I force myself to turn again and look at the terrifying cat, but it's not there. There's just an ordinary domestic cat, and everyone is laughing at me. Now I see everyone from the island, the Marigolds, Joe, Bob, Zane, Popper, all pointing and laughing. Lovely dream. I jump out of my seat to leave, and I'm in bed in my tent, sat bolt upright. I shouldn't have eaten cheese so close to bedtime. Don't blame this on cheese. Cheese is great. Okay. Well, since the romancing is just weird, let's do some more research. Oh. Ready to leave? Once you complete your research, your time on Cat Island will come to an end. Have you seen everything you wanted to see? What? No? I guess a romance. This is confusing. I don't... Like, how do I unlock these guys? I don't... I guess I'll click on McMurphy. Oh, my mom's calling. One sec. I'm gonna just pause real quick here. back. I'm back. My mom was just calling to see how the Santa breakfast went this morning with my daughter and telling me that the pictures looked good. There we are. My headphones on. Let's get back into this weird game. We're gonna go for a stroll. The cliffs, cool. Oh, he just plunges over the cliff. Oh, he's just having a good time. Okay. Jump, Cara, jump. Sure, the water's grand. McMurphy. Yeah, okay. She's mad. It's dangerous. You could do yourself serious injury or worse from such a height. Oh, pish. Come on, Cara. Or you won't get to see the little surprise I have in store. Are there gonna be more fishies? You've already surprised me enough for one day. I mean, he already jumped off this cliff. Why are you suddenly, like, worried this time? Which one of us is meant to be the pussy? Oh my god. At this, I am filled with an indignance that takes over my body. Before I know it, I am halfway between the ledge and water, bracing for impact. This way! I'm still catching my breath as McMurphy's head disappears under the surface. My mind is saying, no, this is ridiculous. Get back to land this instant. But my body is following the Irish cat. Oh, a pirate ship. I don't know. My eyes take a moment to adjust, but when they do, I can hardly believe that I'm seeing as a ship. As we approach from the stern, it looks pretty much intact. I can see the name on the rear port side, and though faded and worn away in parts, the words are unmistakable. Kitty's Desire. My head is swimming. Excitement, lack of oxygen, flounder to surface, catch breath. Kitty's Desire, I feel like I know that name. McMurphy eventually bobs up to join me. Surprised. A shipwreck here? This is a very old island, Cara. A lot has happened here. But how did a ship even get here before the path was made? Hey, don't ask me, Cara. I'm just in it for the grog. McMurphy smiles and dives back into the murky depths. I follow a flailing flesh bag in comparison to Murphy's sleek figure. Try to get closer to look at the wreckage. It's a big ship, likely a trading vessel judging from the size. It's hard to tell how old it is, but it certainly isn't modern, maybe 18th, 19th century. Okay, there's a whole they go in it. He wants her to enter a certain cabin. So there's air trapped inside and they gasp for breath. Here, Cara, look. Hang on, let me catch my... But he has already ducked into the next cell. How is he not out of breath? I realize his ability to swim underwater is unusually strong, but he barely breaks the surface at all. And here, through the hole. He sounds really excited, and as I enter, I see why. There in the center of the cabin is a chest. Ah. The only thing preventing it from falling and being buried in the sand is a well-preserved writing desk. A treasure chest. I sound like a giddy child and feel embarrassed. But McMurphy joins in the glee, and suddenly we're cheering and laughing together. Go on then, open it, Cara. Okay. What are you waiting for? The key? Does it need one? Well, of course it does, Murph. It's a locked treasure chest. Can you not just break the lock? Who do you think I am, Houdini? I don't know about that, but I do know you're a very clever scientist whose thirst for knowledge matches my thirst for grog, so get yours. So you get yours and I'll go get mine. The muggy grins before darting into the next cabin. I hear the familiar clinking of bottles. Okay, so she's trying the lock. Yeah, there's nothing. We'll have to come back with some tools to tackle that lock. There comes no response. McMurphy is obviously still busy with his looting and pillaging, so I decide to swim to the beach to get a better look at this wreck from land. When I take in the scene properly, I can make out what looks like another large ship just a bit further down the beach. I can hardly believe what I'm seeing. One huge sea vessel finding its way to this island is strange enough, but two meeting at the same unhappy fate is more than my brain can process. Okay, so the proximity suggests a collision. Maybe the second vessel was a pirate ship. Maybe it was attacking the merchant vessel. get the feeling I'm looking at the conclusion of a very interesting story here. I wonder why Professor Popper didn't tell me about it. Obviously, he must be aware of the two vessels. My nose for intrigue has started to twitch, and I am burning to know more. I decide to take some of the debris, splinters, and small chunks of metal and pocket it for later analysis in the lab. When I'm satisfied that I've thoroughly combed the beach for specimen and have salvaged enough anything of interest, I realize that I haven't seen McMurphy for quite a while. My heart stops and the hair on my neck stand on end. How could I have been so wrapped up in my work that I neglected to keep an eye on my friend? McMurphy! I met with silent Stillwater. Okay, so back towards the Katie's Desire. McMurphy! I jump in the sea. Doesn't seem to be any life around. I break through the surface with a choke and try to call out, but my throat is hoarse and full of seawater. Where? I catch sight of a shadow out of the corner of my eye crawling along the seabed. I dive under to get a better look and see instantly that it's the Irish cat stalking and prowling as if he were on land. I quickly grab him by the scruff of the neck and drag him back to shore. McMurphy, you loon, what on earth were you playing at? I catch my breath and check on him, but he's happily rolling on his back in the sand. Me, I was having a grand time until you manhandled me with those big meaty paws of yours. Get serious, let it go. Let's get serious. What? Having a what? Calm down, Kara. You look like you're going to pop. You'd been under the water for ages. I didn't see you come up for air once. I have been blessed with fantastic breathing apparatus. But I didn't know that, did I? And you were worried about me? Ah, Kara, now that is very touching indeed. I feel like a damsel in distress, rescued by a charming... I don't allow him to finish his sentence. Blah, 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 blah. Jumping off cliffs without warning, drinking while you're swimming. Not very clever at all. I wasn't drinking while I was swimming. That would be impossible. I know. I tried. The more cross I am, it seems the more amusing McMurphy finds it. You may not realize it, mister, but I have a duty of care towards you, all of you cats. So if something happens to me, you're afraid you'll get in trouble. Aw, and there was me thinking you care for me because you like me. He's deliberately turning this around and it infuriates me further. Stop being so manipulative. Okay, you know I care for you, blah. But you can be very tricky too, you know. Shall we open this? He's reached over to a bottle of grog he's taken from the wreck. You look like you could use something to take the edge off. No, McMurphy, I do not want any of that. Thank you very much. I want you to quit being so reckless. You'll give me a heart attack. Alas, the wind has stopped blowing. What? Oh. I'm afraid I can't promise to stop being what I am. It's like asking the wind to stop blowing. The wind does stop blowing sometimes. He lets out a long laugh. You really are a scientist, Kara. Nothing will ever change that, eh? I understand what he's saying. I need to allow him to do his own thing. Okay, come on then. Let's start heading back. Actually, Kara, you go on ahead. I'll catch up with you later. He winks, and I am in no doubt as to what he wants to do for the rest of the day. He go and drink that grog. Okay. Wait, I can't do more recon. Back. Okay, well, let's just do the research. Yes, I'm ready. I don't know. Let's do it. Today I'm in the lab doing flora research. It's not the most exciting job, but if I keep my head down, I can get through it quickly enough. It just really consists of unpacking the new samples and logging them. Most of them are commonplace plants that grow abundantly in the forest, but occasionally we come across something more rare, exotic even. Calendula incana maritima, which is very interesting indeed. I can't help speculating that it's been cultivated in the marigold's little greenhouse and then transplanted to open ground. I'm distracted momentarily by the sound of clinking glass and turn to see the beautifully manicured paw of a sphinx cat tapping on a beaker, nudging it perilously close to the edge of the counter. How rude. Boots, stop that. You're not supposed to be in here. She laughs as though I've told a joke. That's a frightfully pretty flower. Calendula incana maritima, if I'm not mistaken. You never cease to amaze me, Boots. How on earth did you know that? Why, I make it my business to know all about rare and valuable works of art. Art? Why not? It's been created like a sculpture or painting. The marigolds are true artists in the garden. Ah, I wondered if they had something to do with this. It's so unusual, even in its natural swampy habitat, but to have it growing here in the forest is very out of the ordinary. Ba 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 ba. Why don't you fill me in? Although I'm always happy to facilitate your learning, human, I simply can't stay here a moment longer. The air is too stale, don't you find? I ignore her sideways glance and upturned nose. Let's go to the beach and drink some coconut water, and I'll tell you everything you need to know. Snoots, I'm not going anywhere until I finish this. Don't be ridiculous. You can tinker about in here anytime, but the sun will be gone in an hour or two. Oh, hey. How's it going, Zam? This game's weird. I don't really know if I like it. It's a little strange. I'm dating cats. I'm not tinkering, this is my job. If I don't get it done, the professor will want to know why. Then explain to him you had better things to do. Snooty booty, I won't tell you again. If he catches you here, Purrpaw? I read it backwards. Pawper will cage you. Be careful with that flower, human. It doesn't do to inhale that fragrance deeply. What? I turn to ask why and see her flounce out, knocking the beaker with a swish of her tail as she does. You did that on purpose. But she's gone, leaving me to clean up the broken glass. You doing alright? Yeah, I'm doing well. It's been a pretty busy day and stuff. Had breakfast with Santa this morning. That was fun. I've already loaded my bags onto the boat, and Joe the ferryman's son has told me rather rudely that if I'm not back in 15 minutes, they'll leave without me. And I won't be unloading your bags for you either, so I run as fast as I can to where I know he'll be at this time of day. I must see him one last time before I go. Aren't I going to turn into a cat? Mac, I've reached the shipwreck, but there's no sign of him. My heart lurches. I was sure he'd be here. I'm about to draw a picture for him in the wet sand when I hear sound. It's coming from behind the wreck on the other side. It sounds like snoring. He's sprawled out with an empty bottle of grog. He's drunk. McMurphy, you're drunk. It's morning. Ah, but I'm drunk from last night, Kara. That's decent enough, hick. Well, I wanted to say goodbye properly, but I guess you won't remember anyway. Suddenly he's up and alert, like a different cat. Do you not know me at all, Kara? There's not one word that's passed between us that I couldn't recall right now and repeat verbatim. Not one look in your eye I can't bring to mind. And he suddenly stops as though he's been slapped. You're really going? I have to, you know that. If I don't get to the mainland and find some expert help soon, there will never be an antidote. Okay. I don't know if you're a hero or a fool, but I know that this island will not be the same without you. You know I'll be back, don't you? It's important that we all believe that. We must all keep the faith. You're right. I'll miss you, that's all. And I'll miss you too, Kara. Ha! No one's ever called me that before. I have to go. The boat is leaving any minute. Come on, I'll show you a quick way. And he sets off at a pace I can just about keep up. We're at the jetty in no time. I bend down and nuzzle the fur on McMurphy's head before scrambling onto the boat. Saying your goodbyes? Yes, that's right, Joe. I wave as we make our way out to open water. Okay. Anyone would think them cats was your mates or something. They are, Joe. The best friends I've ever had. Oh dear. His whole demeanor has changed. What? Dad? What is it? Bob comes out from behind where he's been steering the vessel. Got a problem here, son? Yeah, Dad. This one's spoiled. Uh-oh. I don't understand what's happening, but I sense it's not good. Okay, lad, you go steer the boat. Leave this to me. And suddenly it's just me and Bob, and he's bearing down on me. It ain't personal, you understand, but we have to ensure things are contained. Then I see what looks like a gun in his hand. Oh my god, what's happening? I got the bad ending. I got a bad ending. Okay, chapter 1. It's complicated with McMurphy. Successful dates 2. Ending achieved, dry drunk. Okay. Cat's romance, 0 out of 6. 11.1% antidote complete. 7% of total game seen. 1 of 18 endings found. Well, that was definitely a bad ending. Pretty sure I just got killed. Alright, continue? Oh, so I've already played as her, so now I have to play as someone else, it looks like. I'm gonna play is this guy. There we go. Play as him. His name can be... yeah, raises more questions. What is his name gonna be? His name's gonna be Philip, because there's a box that says Philip right there. Philip. This is Philip. Accept. I always get names by like looking around at stuff, or I'll open a book and just be like, that name. I'm finally here. So this is the infamous Cat Island. Can I skip the or is it going to be different with a different person? When I initially received a letter saying I'd been placed on the reserves list for the job, I thought that was probably a kind of way of saying no thanks. Put it out of my mind. Okay, so it is slightly different, because before she thought she had read it wrong, or they sent it to the wrong person. Okay. No mistake, that's my name right there. Professor Popper. Okay, it's pretty much the same, but it is being chopped down, so it's not as much reading, so that's good. We won't be back for days, so don't leave anything. Thanks, Skipper. He totally ignores me, so I pick up my bags and disembark. See ya. A beefy-looking man, who I presume is the island's security, is waiting for me on the jetty. Hello. ID card? Oh, of course. I reached into my back pocket, a laminated card I was given on the mainland. Philip. Oh yeah, so the date before was 0101, so it is... like, literally, she's been shot, and now this guy's coming. He barely looks at it before striding off, grunting over his shoulder. This way. Okay, look at the beautiful islands. We're at the camp. Base camp. Here. Go inside this large tent. Okay. The professor's here. Yay! Hi, Professor. You must be Philip. Delighted to have you on board. It's an honor to meet you. Okay, so last time I said I wanted tea, and he said that tea is disgusting on this island and gave me coffee. So I'm gonna go with water. Just some water would be great if you have some. Now that's something we have in an abundance of. There are plenty of safe natural springs on the island, but we have the bottled kind too. I'm relieved he passes me a bottle of water. I'm not too keen to start drinking from natural water sources until I've personally checked that they're not used as cat urinals. Okay, so I get to relax for the rest of the evening. Sweet. Here's your basic kits. Goes over the tools and equipment, all standard stuff, until the catalog. He holds up something that looks a lot like a mobile phone. Catalog? We collect data on cats. It does other stuff. Here you go. Extremely valuable piece of equipment. Guard it with your life. I think he's joking at first, but he looks so intense that I decided to take it seriously. Yes, sir. Of course I will. Good. You'll get to know all the functions as you go along, but for now I suggest we take a stroll and see if we can find a few cats you can try it out on. Spends the next hour scanning cats. So yeah, it is different, and it's skipping a lot of stuff. So it's not repeating, which is good. As I unpack and settle in, because yeah, there was a lot of reading in the beginning, and I was just like, oh my god. As I unpack and settle into my tent, I notice something odd, a little dugout under my bed. I reach in and pull out an unexpected find, the personal journal of the previous research assistant. The one before me, they must have forgotten it or left it behind. Oh, it's an absolute goldmine of information. It's going to get me up to speed with how it all works around here in no time. However, it seems something else was happening here on the island, something that was troubling them. I get the feeling there's far more going on here than the professor would have me know. There is. In spite of my increasing tiredness, I continue to read, and the journal gets weirder and weirder, to the point where I'm not sure whether I'm still reading or I've dozed off, and I'm now dreaming of talking cats and kidnappings. Eventually, I lose the battle and drift into a deep sleep. You won't wake up, and something weird's gonna happen. I wake with a start, and it takes me a moment to get my brain into gear. I can hear a scratching sound and the rustling of paper coming from the tent flap. It's a cat with something in its mouth. Suddenly I'm awake. No! It has the journal. Wait! But it has disappeared into the night. Okay, chasing the cat. Gotta get the book back. Barefoot, dressed only in a t-shirt and shorts, running at full speed into the forest in the dark of night. This is familiar. Yes. I know, I read this in the journal. Something similar happened to the previous assistant. Yet here I am, falling into the same trap. I must be crazy. I slow to a stop. I think I'm going to be sick. I realize, of course, I'm close to the danger zone. Everything goes black, and I fall to the ground. I open my eyes. The calico cat, the one that I scanned yesterday, is standing in front of me. She drops the journal from her mouth. I pass out. Do, 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 do. Hello, all the kitties. Oh, except there's a cat missing. Hello, I say, can you hear me? Are you okay? Here we go again. Move back a bit, let them breathe. Has it been bitten? The Sphinx cat is standing over me, staring as I open my eyes. Yes, definitely bitten. Look at its hand. I bring my hand up to my face, and through blurry vision, I can make out several deep scratches and puncture marks. The cats watch me intensely. Is this real? I read something in that journal about kidnapping. Catnapping, yeah, yeah, ha, ha. We're sorry, it was the only way. You stole the journal. Oh, but I gave it back to you. But why did you take it? To lure you out here, sucker. There's no need for rudeness, Kibbles. My head has begun to clear, and I realize that if I can talk to these cats, not only is it all true, but it's really too late. I have the sickness. We need to have a document. No, we don't. I know what's going on here. I read all about it from your last victim. Now, Kara, that's not very nice. We prefer to think of you as our champion and friend. McMurphy, you silver-tongued Irish charmer. My reputation goes before me. Oh, I know who you all are from the journal, so let's cut to the chase here. We just did that, dummy. You know what I mean. What happens now? That rather depends on you, human. I feel like this guy's, like, so pissed that he does not want to help the kitties. Help you after what you did to me? How could I ever trust you? You steal from me, put me in mortal danger, lie to get what you want. What would you do in my situation? This may have been a bad idea. Ouch! This ludicrous story about werecats is enough to make me think I must be going insane. So no, it's not. It's up to you to sort out whatever is going on here. I will have enough on my hands looking after myself. Lame. Did I tell you, I knew this human lacked the intellect and stamina to be a part of our research. You rude, self-opinionated moggy. I would sooner turn into a cat than help you. There is a shocked silence. Slowly, the small calico cat pads up to me. I'm so sorry, human. If there was some way I could help you, I would. Trixie begins to sob quietly before turning away. My eyesight begins to blur, but I can just about make out the cats retreating into the thick growth of the forest. Oh man. I'm more tired and foggy. Make my way back. I did plenty of work over the next few weeks on the Cat Island, but I can't remember much of it. Time seems to have slipped by without my even noticing. I'm sure I did lots of good and interesting work here on the island, but I just can't recall any of it. Only vague memories. At the end of the day, I'm really not that bothered. It all feels a bit like a distant dream to me now. I stretch out in the sand, enjoying the midday sun on my fur, lazily licking my paws clean of the scraps left over from my morning feed. Meow! I'm a cat now. That was a quick chapter. I did nothing because I just turned into a cat. Oh, anti-hero achievement. Ending achievement. That's so funny. Alright, well, let's continue. Let's not choose to not help the cats. It's a bad idea, apparently. Let's be this chick. And her name can be... it's written on here. Whoops. I dropped it. Her name can be... something. What's my lipstick called? Okay, Casanova. Her name's not gonna be that. Her name can be... Kitchen, Western Foods, Chef. Her name is Chef. Great name. This is Chef. It was a long boat journey. My legs are a bit wobbly as I make my way up to the wooden jetty to meet the security guard who's come to collect me. ID. I rummage about my bag. Blah, blah, blah. Here's Chef. It's 2 months later. Let's keep on keeping on with Chef. See you later. Thanks for joining, Zam. And I will see you next time. I already said see you later. That's why I paused, because I was like, I already said this. And then I was like, I'll just keep saying it, even though I've already said this. Come on then, follow me. I have to walk at quite a pace to keep up with him. Here is the tents. He's waiting for you in there. Glad to have you on board, Chef. Shall we just go through a few formalities? Sure, sounds good to me. A little refreshment. Okay, so I've gone for the tea. It was a bad idea. I've gone for the water. That was fine. I drank some water. And the only other two options are whiskey and nothing. I think this girl she should go for the whiskey. Whiskey for sure. It's a bit early in the day, but sure, why not? I'll have a small whiskey. Jolly good. I could tell you and I are going to get along famously. Aha, it was a good choice. He takes a gulp from the bottle before passing it to me. I try not to show my consternation and surreptitiously wipe the neck with my sleeve before taking a reluctant sip. We spend the next hour going through my kit. Stuff, catalog, that's a bunch of stuff. Meet some local cats, learn how to scan them. And time for night. While I'm unpacking, I find something very interesting under my bed. It's the personal journal of the previous research assistant, the one before me. As I read, I begin to discover that there is more going on here. Maybe the last creature was prone to flights of fancy. Makes for great bedtime story material. I drift into a deep sleep. I wake up with a start. I can hear the rustling of paper coming from the tent flap. It's a cat with something in its mouth. It has the journal. Wait! But it has run off into the night. I chase it. I need to get the journal. I start to feel woozy. I've entered straight into the danger zone. I'm going to be sick. I close my eyes tight and drop to my knees. Calico cat drops the journal. I pass out. Do. Alright, gonna wake up on the beach again. With all my kitty cat friends. Can you hear me? Are you okay? Here we go again. Move back a bit. Let them breathe. Has it been bitten? The Sphinx cat is standing over me. Yes, definitely bitten. Look at its hand. I bring my hand up to my face, and through my blurry vision, I can make out several deep scratches and puncture marks. Is this real? I saw something in the journal about kidnapping. Catnapping. Yahaha. Hey, this is the same thing that we already saw. We're sorry, it was the only way. She has the sickness. I know what's going on. What happens now? Let's help the kitties. Well, of course I am. You need my help. I need yours if I'm going to find an antidote. Spoken like a true champion. Well, let's hope it's the third time lucky. That should be more than likely. The last one didn't get very far with discovering what happened to our friends. They didn't make an antidote either. I think with their notes to build on, I'm going to crack this. Well, I promise to give it my best shot at least. Hurrah! Respect. Jolly good show. Catalog's beeping. But right now I have to get to work. Off she runs. To work we go. There is another message with contact information. Loose lips. I remember reading something about a message in a journal, but I was so sleepy last night I don't recall what it was. I decided to ignore the mystery messenger for now, or I'll be late to work. He's already working. I try to be as efficient as possible, and then I go back to my 10. Okay, let's do some recon. So, we can do recon 2. Trixie has been telling me about a strange phenomenon in a nearby rock pool. I've decided it's probably worth checking out. Snoots has brought me something intriguing. I better check it out. There's been a shipment of supplies delivered, and I have to help get it all unloaded. Maybe I can get some info while I'm there. Let's do that one. Because, I mean, they freaking shot the first chick in the head. I've been asked to help with the loading and unloading of supplies. This suits me because I've been itching for a chance to talk to the Fairman and his son. Yeah. They might have some info. The boat only comes once a week and every other weekend. The weekend deliveries are all the good things, food, mail, treats, and the mood is always lighthearted. These midweek trips, on the other hand, are strictly work-related and tend to be very early morning when we're all a bit grumpy, or late at night when we're overtired. Today it's so early that the light only just broke and Zane and I are waiting down on the jetty. They're late. Really? It's only 5 minutes. Bob's never late. Must be quite a long trip, though, to the mainland. You expect at least 5, maybe 10 minutes either way. Bob's never late. Okay. It's not one for chit-chat. You can hear the boat's engine. And they're here, emerging from the mist like a ghost ship. It only takes them minutes to dock and tie off before we're stepping aboard. Right? Right. Another man, a few words. I nod to Bob's son, Joe, and he nods back. I guess we're the same age, but he's huge. Problems? A few extra crates held us up 5 minutes. Okay, me and Bob will do the shifting. You two do the stacking until we come back. With the outgoing, you stay aboard, sort out the incoming. Got that, Brainy? He's looking at me. Brainy? I'm totally excited that Zane has given me a nickname, but a little crushed that the nickname is Brainy. Sure, you bring 'em, we fling 'em. I see that I'm the only one grinning like a fool. Huh, Jonas, what to do? You do as you're told. And they're gone. He's already started loading up the dolly. You look like you've been doing this your whole life. Family business? Move those crates there. They need to go off next. He sidestepped my question, but I'm not sure if it's deliberate, so I try a different tack. You don't go to college then, Joe? Nope. I'm not getting anywhere with this, so I changed to something less personal. Zane said you're never late, which is pretty impressive considering how far you have to come. This is like pulling teeth. How far is it exactly? Quite far. Oh, really? And do you stop anywhere else en route, or are we your only drop-off? And suddenly Joe has stopped what he's doing and is standing toe-to-toe with me, locked onto my eyes so that I can't look away. You have a lot of questions in you. My suggestion would be to keep them there on the inside. Don't do no good poking your nose into other people's business. I'm shocked by his bluntness. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. You live with them cats, learn from them. My heart beats faster. I think he's going to tell me something. What? All cats know. Curiosity kills them. He starts to laugh out loud, and I just stand with my mouth open, not sure how to respond. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? And he laughs even harder. I'm feeling creeped out, and I'm really relieved to hear the two older men returning. Okay. Everything all right here? They have the crates to be loaded into the boat. What's up with you, Brainy? You look a bit wobbly. Not got your sea legs yet. We were playing cat and mouse, Dad. Bob turns sharply on his own, shuts him up with a look. You don't want to mind him. You don't mean no harm. Best take what he says with a pinch of salt. I see a look pass between him and Zane and get the feeling there's a lot more going on here than I understand. You need to get back now, Brainy. We can take it from here. Okay. Turns and slinks away. That's the end of that. So now we know that guy's weird. I guess I could start a romance with... So I can't do McMurphy because I already did. Who is this? Okay, Trixie's pretty cute. Let's go with Trixie. Tapping. Follow the sound. Following, tap, tap, tap. Oh my god. It's hard to tell if it's getting louder or if it's just getting more consumed by it. Suddenly the tapping stops and I hear a new sound altogether. It's a strange gurgling like the sound of babbling brooks that run through the deep forest, but I wouldn't be able to hear that all the way from the beach. So I stand still and listen. There it is again, a short eruption of burbles. Look around suspiciously and notice a barely seen opening in the contours of the rock face. The gurgling shapes into gleeful giggles. Hello? I waited at the mouth of the cave feeling like I've been lured here, but at the same time like an intruder. Am I disturbing you? Who man? Oh, Trixie, it's you. What are you doing here? I could hear you from all the way up on the beach. You're a long way off base. I could ask you the same thing, human, but I won't because I know why you're here. You were drawn to me. I knew you would come sooner or later. I made it nice for your visit. Oh, well, come on in, Humi. Humi. It's like homie, but Humi. And she disappeared into the darkness of the cave. Ooh, it's sparkly. It's not. There's light sources that my brain can't quite understand immediately. The rocks, or at least some of them, are radiating with warm glow, golden pink glow, which gives the tiny cave a peculiar ambiance, almost like a trashy nightclub. Trixie in a trashy nightclub. Take a piece of space and make yourself at home, Humi. I sit where I have been standing, as there's not much room here. I start to take in my surroundings. Wow, Trixie, this is fantastic. Cool stuff. Rocks, nooks and crannies. There are piles of stuff in every nook and cranny, like a little Aladdin's cave. It's my pad. It's where I do my thing. We all need our thing, don't we? I suppose, but what exactly is your thing? Minerals! I collect them. It's more than just collecting them, though. I embrace them. You hug them? Trixie giggles. Yes, I do, but that's not what I meant. I connect with them and allow their properties to become a part of me. We combine our energies. I'm not sure I quite understand. Look, it's easier if I show you. The small cat begins nudging and pawing at some of the stones until she has lined them up in front of me. Okay. Here's my island family. Meet the Grand Dame. A long, slender pink stone. Feel her. I run my fingers over the shiny, cold surface. Remind you of anyone? A smile breaks over my face and Trixie begins to giggle. Yep, you got it. Only don't ever tell Snooty that I'm calling her Grandma. Here, how about this guy? A large, squat chunk of rock, semi-covered with kind of moss that gives it the appearance of having fur. Warm, rich amber tone. Makes me laugh out loud. That really is uncanny. The major in rock form. Mineral, actually, but yes, Gramps has all the qualities to lead my little family. I've already moved on to the next stone, and the resemblance is striking. It's a dirty green stone. Booty. Snooty booty. Yay, okay. This is not helping in my quest to find out what's happening on this island. I just choked on my cough drop. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, naughty Uncle McMurphy can be like that, don't you find? He certainly can. His charm is very... Oh, whatever. Next. No one. What about Kibbles? Take a closer look, Humi. Flat, jagged piece of stone next to Floofy Butt, and then I get it. It's a pebble. He is a pebble. We both laugh. Okay. It's the energy. Everything has energy. We're all connected. Oh my god. This is interesting. Yeah, right? Don't choke. I do that a lot with cough drops because I forget they're in my mouth and I'm just like talking away and all of a sudden it's like going in my throat and I'm like, ah! I'm gonna die. I need to pay more attention to my cough drops. I do as instructed and hold the tiny paw in my hand, being as gentle as possible because my fingers suddenly seem fat and clumsy by comparison. What do you feel? She's warm and fragile, and I almost feel like giggling. A bit tipsy, really. Okay, now keep your eyes closed and hold my other paw in your other hand. I'm gonna chew my cough drop. It is an alarming feeling. I actually fully was choking once on steak, and my husband had to do the Heimlich maneuver, and it was terrifying. I like sat down on the ground afterwards and just cried because I was like, I'm alive. And I was like super bruised up and my throat was like raw. It was bad. It hurt to eat for the next couple days because my throat was so bad. I'm glad I survived too. Thank you. When I have both of her paws, the feeling is intensified. I begin giggling out loud despite myself, and I'm overcome with a delicious feeling of joy. I mostly choke on water. Yeah, I definitely do that sometimes too. Speaking of water, I should take a sip of my water. I'll try not to choke on it though. Open your eyes. I look down and see that I am only holding one of Trixie's paws. In the other hand is a small, clear crystal, completely smooth. Oh wow, but how? It felt just like your paw, warm and furry. I know. Trixie is laughing. You were feeling the energy. This is me. Trixie indicates the crystal. Oh my goodness, Trix, this is so cool. Thank you for letting me meet you all. That's so weird. I notice her face change. She looks as though she's been hurt. Oh, Trixie, what is it? Are you okay? This isn't all of us. What? There's someone else in my island family, but we don't talk about her anymore. Oh, she was the coolest sister I ever... But she's not with us anymore. Oh, Trix, did she pass away? No such luck. She's being kept alive. Trixie nudges a small black piece of stone toward me. I pick it up and look at it closely. There's thousands of speckles of glitter running through it, giving it an iridescence. It looks like the night sky. I close my eyes instinctively and am immediately overwhelmed by the most intense sadness and despair. It feels as though all the pain in the world is captured in this little black gem. Gosh, Trixie, what on earth happened to her? I can't say. Not yet, anyway. She has taken the stone and hidden it before I even realize it's gone, and suddenly her mood has changed completely again. We need to get you one too, Humi. You should be mineralized, don't you think? I would be honored, Miss Trixie. You're really quite open for a scientist. It's actually a requirement that in order to be a good scientist, you remain open-minded. Yes. Let me read your tarot. I'm a bit thrown. That came out of nowhere. I don't know about that. Not as open-minded as you like to think then. That's not fair. I just wasn't expecting it. Let's just go for it. Why not? I played tarot once in uni. It was great fun. Tarot isn't a game. Of course not. Tell me who I'm gonna marry. Trixie lets out a small snicker. I don't know why, but I'm starting to feel a bit nervous. Okay, cards with intricate patterns. That's a cool deck. Where did you get it? McMurphy got it for me. He won't tell me where he's from. He finds the coolest things. She lets out a strange yowling sound and stops and fans the cards out in front of me. Okay, your turn. Close your eyes and slowly run your hand over the cards until you feel drawn to one. Touch it lightly. Repeat until you've chosen 3 cards. I self-consciously do as I'm told, relieved that I'm not expected to make yowling noises too. I touch 3 cards, and when I open my eyes, Trixie is holding them in her paw, looking thoughtful. Very interesting. Your past is the Fool. Ha! The Lovers is in your present position. How scandalous. And you have Justice in your future, but will you be handing it out or receiving it? Very interesting. Is that good interesting or bad interesting? There's no such thing as good or bad, really. It's all just information to help you if you choose to listen to it. Okay, I'm all ears. Are you going to tell me that I'm a bit of a fool who falls in love and gets my just desserts? I notice that Trixie has become quiet and thoughtful as she studies the 3 cards. It feels like an age before she speaks. The position of this card represents your past, everything that has led you to your current situation. The Fool is all about innocence and spontaneity. Spontaneity? Is that how you say that word? I don't know. It's the first card in the major arcana and signifies beginnings. The fool pretends important decisions ahead which may not be easy to make, and involve an element of risk for you. It is a powerful card, not to be underestimated. The next position is your current situation. The Lovers can be a misleading card because it suggests being all about romance, but actually it's far more about making difficult choices. It warns that you need to consider things very carefully because although a positive outcome is more indicated when this card is present, it also reminds us that pain is seldom avoidable. And the outcome card, Justice. This augurs well for you, human. It's the most karmic of the tarot cards. If you behave with integrity, loyalty, and courage, you will achieve fantastic results and gain the highest possible successes. Beware, though, that the sword cuts on both sides of the blade. If you sow the seeds of discord, you will reap disharmony in your life. There's a longish pause, and I realize she's finished my reading. That's fantastic. You're really good. What did it mean? Oh, really, Humi? What did I say about listening? I heard every word. I just don't know what it means. Then go away and think about it. I will. I'll try. It's all about interpretation and listening. Interpreting the cards is listening. You need to listen to your inner voice, and the cards will help you hear it. I have much to learn. Happy to teach you. Da-da-da. Stuff's happening. I shall look forward to that, but right now I have a date with a microscope. Soon, Humi, soon. Make my way out into the bright sunshine and take a deep breath. I'm not sure what all that was about, but I think I rather liked it. Okay. That was interesting. Some crazy magic going on this island. Let's do some research. The professor has assigned me to work on a special subject. I never thought I could add feline hairstylist to my CV, but it looks like today is my lucky day. I'm gonna go with the special subject one. Sounds interesting. Chef, I forgot I named her Chef. A very important job for you today. It's a tricky one. Whatever. Professor leads me to the research lab, but instead of going in, he takes me to an area around the back. This is our brave little nugget, Ravenpaw. She has to be isolated over here, don't you, Missy? Professor reaches into the cage, which is stood on a table, and picks up a tiny black cat that's sleeping inside. Such a good girl, aren't you? We keep her here, away from the others, because the poor thing is very unwell. Can you see this nasty rash? Aw, the poor kitty. It's red and swollen. Ravenpaw looks at me with her big watery eyes, one blue, one brown. They're probably watering because of the medication she's on, but it makes her look as if she's pleading with me. Isn't able to eat without assistance. Aww. I'm not sure if she'll make it, perhaps not even to the end of the week. Professor lets out a sad sigh. I have my fingers crossed, though. We don't give up on any of these cats, do we, Ravenpaw? She's such a pretty cat. Her eyes are enchanting, aren't they? She's a very pretty cat indeed, and she knows it too. You can tell. You know what a pretty thing you are, don't you? I reach out to stroke Ravenpaw, but she struggles away from my hand. She's getting cranky. I think we've kept Grumpy Pants here awake for long enough. Puts her gently back into the cage and locks it shut. Ravenpaw seems to fall asleep instantly. I hope I didn't distress her. Of course not, Chef. She's usually very wary of humans before she gets to know them. When I first found the poor thing on the beach, she almost scratched my eyes out, in spite of the terribly fragile state she was in. Okay, she's a trooper. She was half dead, and she's gotten a lot better since then. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see her pull through this. Except you just said that you weren't surprised if she didn't last a week. I hope so, Professor. Quite. Now, the reason I brought you here is because, regrettably, I won't be able to see Ravenpaw personally any longer. It's a pity, as she is so used to me now, but there's nothing for it. I've been given an extra workload recently. A few of my odd jobs to accommodate it. I thought you would be the ideal person to look after Ravenpaw for me. I'm taken aback that the professor's trusted me with such a responsibility. It's quite flattering until I remember that he doesn't have much choice. Me being the only assistant on the island. I mean, yeah, that would, yeah. Every day she requires a change of dressing, a dose of medicine, some cream rubbed into her rashes, and a syringe full of some nutrient milk. This could be a quite could be quite distressing for her, so I'd like someone with a nice and patient manner to take over. Would you be interested? Of course. Okay. Gonna get along famously. Did you start now? Of course. Tip-top. I shall be in the lab if you need me for anything. Tip-top. Tip-top. Please don't be afraid to give me a shout. I am terribly sorry to burden you with this so suddenly, but I have such a lot of work to do right now. Okay, Professor. Feel a little apprehensive as I watch Professor Popper retreat into the lab. I didn't realize I'd be expected to do everything right now without training or anything. I must try to adapt to higgledy-piggledy way things are done here. Whoa, blah, blah, blah. I take a deep breath. Change her dressing. I can do that. Hello, pretty kitty. I'm very sorry, but I have to disturb you. The small cat lets out a sad mew as I lift her out of the cage. Aw, this poor kitty. Where are your dressings? I put Ravenpaw next to the cage on the table. She lays down compliantly. She obviously knows the routine. She has a large bandage on the side of her ribs. I begin to gently remove it, trying hard not to pull her skin too much. I suppose if we're going to do this every day, we might as well get to know each other, right? So, hello, my name is Chef, and I am quite new here. I know your name already, Ravenpaw. Nice name. I bet the professor named you. He certainly knows how to pick them, doesn't he? The cat tenses as I remove the last of the plaster and reveal a scar on a patch of bare skin, where the professor has shaved her for surgery. Oh dear, that scar looks very tender. I should clean it. Is that right, Ravenpaw? Let me look. There are some drawers under the table, and I quickly find some antiseptic gel and cotton pads. Now, Ravenpaw, I'm going to level with you. This is going to sting a bit, but please don't take it out on me. I'm doing this for your own good. You don't want the scar to become infected. The cat stays perfectly still while I wipe her at her scar. She doesn't even make a sound. I have to say, I'm impressed and a little disquieted. Wow, you are a brave girl, aren't you? Well done. When I was a child, I cut my arm on some thorns and had to have antiseptic put on it. As I remember, I screamed the house down. Okay, new bandage. Medication next. Pre-filled syringes labeled catatonic. Oh. I presumed you'd be taking tablets, but of course the professor said you have trouble with solids, don't you? Poor thing. Okay, same thing as last time. Don't shoot the injector. I hold the skin on the back of Ravenpaw's neck tight and go to inject it quickly to get it over with, but the syringe is stiff. It takes a lot longer than I expected. Again, the little cat makes no response. Doesn't move a muscle, almost as if she can't feel it. Good girl, gosh, you are so tough. You know, I bet you and McMurphy would get on like a house on fire. Ravenpaw's ears prick up as if she'd heard a rattlesnake. McMurphy is one of the coolest people. I mean, I was a little wary at first, but he has that Irish charm that's so hard to resist. The tiny cat's head spins to look up at me. How do you know he's Irish? Oh. My heart lurches into my throat. Have you got it? You have, haven't you? You're sick. You've got the sickness. I have a million questions running through my head, but I am unable to speak. Listen to me, human. You must help me. I suddenly jolt to my senses. I am. I'm trying to help you, Ravenpaw. Please, don't use the cream on me. It burns. It has given me these red patches. I know it hurts, but I have to rub it into your wounds. Those red patches will get dry and itchy and even infected otherwise. No, please, I beg you, human. That stuff doesn't help. It doesn't. It hurts. I know it feels that way, but it's helping you, I promise. The professor has been caring for you so thoroughly since he found you. I'd get the sack if your treatment went downhill now. That man has only ever hurt me. I'm taken aback. The professor cares for you very much and only wants you to get better. The cat turns her face away as if she's given up hope. It pulls at my heartstrings and I pause for a moment. I'm gonna stop her treatment. This sounds like this cat's being abused, and I don't like it. Like, her medicine was called catatonic. That's not a good sign. Okay, stop Ravenpaw's treatment. Okay, I'm taking a big leap here. I'm going to give you 5 days without this cream, and if I see any deterioration in your condition, it's back to a strict regime for you, Missy, and no complaints. Deal? Thank you, human. Okay. Yes, new unlocks. Ooh, I got new unlocks. I did good. Let's look at stats here. Okay, that's just brings up that. That's so helpful. Okay. Research. Oh. Choose again. I gotta rest. Good thing that pop-up came up. A lovely nap. Energy has been restored. Magic! Alright. Now, we'll do some more research. Okay, what's this one? Never thought... Oh yeah, that's the grooming cats. I've been warned that despite their small size, these kittens eat like horses. I'm sure I can handle it, though. You know what? Let's go back for a sec. Let's do a romance, maybe. Let's see. Oh, I've broken Snooty Booty and Floofy Butt's hearts. Because I went for Trixie this time. Oh, Ravenpaw's on here now. Okay. Let's go for Trixie then. Sure, why not? I mean, she's my only choice, but I mean, let's go for romance is what I was meaning, over research. The music is meowing. Come on, Humi. At this rate, you'll have to go back before we even get there. I'm not built like you, Trix. Not yet, anyway. You need to cut me some slack. These cliffs are hard going. Taking an extra long lunch break today to go scavenging with Trixie. Having realized I'm the only member of the family not to be represented in rock form, she's become obsessed with finding my crystallized doppelganger. I'm both flattered and unnerved at being a member of a cat family. I try not to overthink it. Take 5 to catch a breath. It's just over this edge. Look. As I catch up to Trixie, I instantly see what she's referring to. A rock basin. Volcanic looking, as though something huge once fell here and left an almighty indentation. What is this, Trixie? Jump down, it's perfectly safe. The nimble little cat has made it down to the plateau and a couple of swift leaps and is looking up as though encouraging a child into a swimming pool. Just spring up and glide down. For you, maybe, I'm a lot less cat than you might think. But as I stumble around, I find it surprisingly easy to find my footing, and my legs feel springier somehow, taking me higher than I expected when I jump. Okay, so she jumps down. You might be a lot less human than you might think. When I've stopped feeling pleased with myself and taken my surroundings, I have to catch my breath. I feel as though I'm standing in a prehistoric time warp. Where are we? What is this? Ha! Close your mouth, Humi. The Lucilites will get in? The what? Never mind. Just get some of this and dodge for the high road. Some of the expressions you use, Trix, you do make me laugh. Were you born on this island? She's clawing at the rock like it's a scratch post. I feel like these cats are probably all humans that have turned into cats. My parents brought me here in 1967. Really? Wow. Do you remember? No, the last one told me. What? You mean the person who worked here before me? But I'm silenced by her abrupt interruption. Thanks for all the help. I realize that I've done nothing and jump up to see what I can do, but Trix seems to have what she came here for. Take this. It's a shard of black and silver. Hold it in your hands and feel the character. Try to blend with it. I do as I'm told, but the only thing I feel is foolish. I'm not sure. Perhaps I'm not very... Yawning again. Rock-like. Mineral. Sorry. Okay, leave it. We'll have to try again elsewhere. But to be honest, human, I'm running quite low on ideas for you. I feel guilty that I'm so difficult to place and wonder if I should try to make it better. Bluff through it. Admit skepticism. I think I'll admit. Look, I know I'm not very open to this stuff, but the truth is it makes me feel a bit silly. It's like there's this great game and I'm the only one who doesn't know how to play. It's not a game, Humi. It's very real to me. I see that, and I believe that you are being totally genuine. It's just me. I'm some kind of Luddite, I suppose. She starts gurgling. Her strange little laugh cuts through the tension, and I start laughing too. More from relief that she's not angry with me than anything else. Her good humor picks me up. Yeah, I feel like if I had done it the other way, she would have been upset. Look, let me have one last try, will you? Be my guest, but I really don't mind calling it a day if you want to, Humi. I would love to stop and head back to the camp for a glass of cold lemonade, but I feel I owe Trixie more effort than I've been making. No, I'm placing myself in your paws. I'm prepared to do what it takes. Good use of... Oh. I got a brownie point for your use of terminology, but I didn't read the whole thing, so I don't know what that was. Okay, so stand up and close your eyes. I do as I'm told. Now feel the flow of energy come through your crown chakra. White light coursing through your body. Crown chakra? I'm lost already, but I try to follow what she's suggesting. Wonderful! Now slowly raise one leg and extend it behind you. Find your balance. I'm wobbling like a jelly. Good, and extend your arm out in front of you. Stretch right out. Now bring your right hand toward your face with your fingers splayed. What? But I'm managing to keep a straight face. That's something. Now bring your thumb to the tip of your nose. Okay. Wiggle your fingers. She is totally making this up. There's a stifling gurgling sound. I can't resist opening my eyes. Trixie is rolling around, trying not to laugh out loud. I see myself, how ridiculous I look, and I join in with her mirth. I knew she was playing a trick. That was mean. Who me? I'm just trying to lighten you up a bit. The best route to enlightenment is through joyful laughter. Well, whatever Christmas cracker you read that in, it wasn't wrong. We lay on the ground for a while, soaking in the energy from the rocks, and I can honestly say I felt nothing. Don't worry, newbie. I'll channel for you until your own channels are clear. I have no idea what she means, but I feel very happy about it. Okay. Alright then. Weird little date with the cat. Let's do some recon. Oh, I can't stop thinking about those important fragrant pink letters Zane mentioned. I've got to get my hands on one. Trixie's been telling me about a strange phenomenon, and Snoots has brought me something intriguing. Let's do Recon 6, the fragrant pink letters. I feel like they sound interesting. Sequenced by, I know it by heart, but I'm nervous. I've been watching long enough to be sure that the routine is just like clockwork. What is she talking about? Oh, the boat arrives... Oh, how to get a pink letter, derp. So the boat arrives at 1300 hours. Zane, always alone, talks to the older man, Bob, who hands over the post, while the younger of the two, Joe, loads up the dolly with boxes of supplies. Zane puts the envelopes, never more than 3, into the breast pocket of his jacket. That solves the mystery of why he always overdresses whenever the boat comes in. He then wheels the dolly to the mess tents and unloads the food supply, then to the lab and unloads the medical supply, then to the storage hut, where he unloads the remaining packages and leaves the dolly. Next, he goes to Professor Popper's tent. If the professor is in, he hands over 2 of the envelopes, keeping the 3rd, his puzzler, in his jacket pocket. If, however, the professor isn't in the tent, Zen makes his way back down to his chair on the dock, drapes his jacket over the back of it, and spends the afternoon on his puzzles before going back again in the evening to deliver the professor's mail. Okay, so he never lets the envelopes out of his jacket pocket or the jacket out of his sight, so my only opportunity would be to pickpocket the security guard when he takes his jacket off, but that relies on Professor Popper not being in his tent. Luckily, I've ensured with the help of my feline friends that the professor will be held up during his out-of-grounds inspection. So, Trixie staged... So, today Kibbles and Trixie have staged stuff. Yeah, okay, he's gonna miss it. Whatever. Cats are gonna do something. He is, of course, sat in his usual place, jacket draped over his chair. Hi there, Zane. 127. What? I suppose we're on first-name terms now. I have a little something for you. Zane frowns, but does not look at me. His eyes are instead where they always are, on his crossword. I've made you a puzzle. He eyes me skeptically. A crossword, to be exact. It's pretty tricky, if I do say so myself. I created the puzzle using all of the cat's general knowledge. Major and McMurphy thought of some particularly treacherous teasers, while Kibbles and Trixie offered some great obscure pop culture questions. Snooty Booty was mostly just trying to get cat treats out of my pocket. I hand the paper to Zane, who's still frowning. This Dick's having a whale of a time. Is this a joke? Oh, it gets harder. Zane peers over the crossword. Why did you make this for me? Well, you know how bored I get, and I like you, Zane. Zane breaks into the first smile I've seen on his face through small and slightly uncomfortable looking. I don't have anything for you. Yes, he's warming to me. This plan is going spiffingly. It's going spiffingly. I don't know why I turned British for that. Spiffingly. Oh, don't worry about that. All I want is for you to complete it. I make my hands into a heart shape while Zane is distracted. I feel stupid, but McMurphy insisted that would be my signal for him to strike, and sure enough, along he slinks, cool as anything. He winds his feline body between Zane's leg, unnoticed. Zane's tongue is now sticking out, and his shoulders are hunched in concentration. You stuck already? I dart a look at McMurphy to get ready to make his move. He throws me a disconcerting wink. It's not that hard, just like this one about the archetypal counterpart to yandere. Oh yes, that's quite niche. Thanks for that one, Kibbles. While I engage Zane, I can see that McMurphy has already reached up as though stretching against the chair and nudged his nose into the inside breast of the jacket. Oi, shoot, get out of it. I see McMurphy scamper off and my heart sinks. Anyway, I'll check back later, see how you're getting on with it. Zane grunts in response. I walk back dejectedly to where McMurphy and I had agreed to meet after our mission was over, and suddenly my spirits lift at the sight of a little pink corner peeking out from under the designated rock. Alright, he did it. Go McMurphy. You're a star. There's no end to my talents. I snatch up the envelope, say goodbye to McMurphy, and head to the privacy of my tent. I examine my trophy while the kettle boils. I'm touched by the pretty pink envelope and delicate fragrance and feel suddenly embarrassed. Am I prying into the professor's love life? What has gotten into me? Getting notions of secret going-ons and subterfuge? I know how to say words. I'm about to put the letter back when I'm overwhelmed by curiosity. I wonder who the professor's secret love could be. What are they like? Woman? Man? Other? Before I can contain myself, I have steamed open the flap and am peeking inside. It's not at all what I expect. My previous suspicions come flooding back. The paper is in stark contrast to the pretty pink wrapping. It is typed message on white paper. Percival, I have been informed of your latest subject. I would rather hear about such things from you personally. It would not be wise to take my silence for authorization. Please keep this in mind for future transactions. I will let this indiscretion slide, but if it is ever repeated, I will have no choice but to deal with you the way I dealt with 124. As for the project, case study number 6 is aesthetic. Please act accordingly. What? P103 has been unsuccessful. Avoid any further investigation. Lab 9 has received the newest batch. Protocol to begin on the 8th. Finally, I trust your new assistant has arrived and is proving to be more helpful than the previous one. We seem to have had a run of bad luck in that particular area. As you know, I do not abide bad luck and will expect a reversal of fortune post-haste. Faithfully yours, 7. Okay. Well, it was definitely a good idea to get one of those letters. That had a lot of stuff in it. None of it made much sense to me, but, you know, that's fine. Okay, let's do some research. Let's do grooming cats or feeding duty. Let's do feeding duty. It's too early. The world isn't meant to be seen before 7 o'clock. These early mornings are still a shock to me. Kittens fed. I like to get the kittens fed and cleaned out before my breakfast. It's easier to do it before the rest of the camp is awake. Less distractions. Okay, kitty treats. Hello, babies. I peer into the cage of the sleeping kittens. So cute. They're just waking up and ready for breakfast. I do a quick head count. 12. Good. No one tunneled out in the night. Let's get you swabbed and fed. Nom nom. I got the first sleepy kitten, no more than a ball of fluff, and as it opens its mouth to yawn, I dart in with the swab, bottle it, and onto the next fur ball. You're getting good at this. Oh, Trix, you're up early. Going to bed late, actually. I keep swabbing, and in no time I've got all 12 little cats in the feeding cage and have begun cleaning out the sleeping areas. Aw, cute. How long will they stay here for? I'm not sure. Generally, they're kept here for about 10 weeks, and then some are released back into the wild immediately, but some are moved to be examined further. I'm still getting the hang of how it all works around here. It's a shame that they aren't all released, isn't it? Yes, I suppose so, but they'll all be released eventually, just some later than others. You think so? Well, yes, unless they're very poorly, like Ravenpaw. Trixie winces at the mention of the black cat's name. Very few of those kittens actually get released into the wild, Chef. What do you mean? Of course they do, as long as they're healthy. Oh, wow. And you know this, do you? You release them yourself. Well, no, but Professor Popper told me that the kittens get discharged at between 10 to 12 weeks. Oh, I see. Trixie smiles, but it looks fake. Oh. If I were you, I'd tag one of this litter. Oh no, they're too young for tagging. You have to wait till they're at least 12 weeks. That one over there, he looks very healthy. I'm sure if you tagged him, you'd be able to see for yourself what happens to the healthy kittens. As I go to answer, I hear the breakfast bell in the distance. Oh, Cinderella has to fly. And the calico cat is gone as quickly as she appeared. Come on then, kitties, let's get you back into your nice clean cage. I'm gonna tag. Definitely gonna tag. Yeah, definitely tagging. Come on then, back to... But before I even finish my sentence, my hand has grabbed the chipping pen and I've tagged the plump gray male. Probably silly, but it won't harm you and it could teach me something useful. Boom, been tagged. Yes, new unlocks. New unlocks. Well, I guess I should do more romancing. Oh, no, I gotta rest. Oh, I decided to catch up on some rest and relaxation, like the professor keeps telling me to do. Come down to the jetty where Zane usually sits. Today isn't a delivery day, and as I was hoping he's nowhere in sight, I sit with my legs dangling over the edge and take out my sketchbook and pencils. I haven't done this in ages. It's so peaceful I get lost in my own little world when I'm drawing. Try doing a couple landscapes, the mountain range in the distance, the trees in the forest, but nothing is really grabbing me. Then, as I'm daydreaming, staring into the water, I notice the patterns that the ripples form on the surface. They're unusual, I suppose because of the magnetic pull. The effect is beautiful, and I end up sitting for over an hour just trying to capture it on my page. Ooh, cool. I made the arts. Okay, let's... I don't really care about the romance side of this. I just want to do the research. Yes, I'm ready. Okay, research 4. Okay, research 7 is the one that's open. Medical trial. Professor Popper says we'll be testing some experimental medicines today. I just hope I have the stomach for it. I don't know about this. I arrived at the lab a little later than usual today, but I held up by an incredibly important task of petting all the cats I saw on the way. Really crucial stuff. The sanitary, I see a large, unmarked wooden box on the table. Morning, Professor. I wasn't expecting you to be working alongside me today. I'm not. I'm afraid I'm actually in a rather hurry, but I need to explain to you a new protocol I'd like you to carry out for me. He opens the lid, and inside are rows of small clear bottles, each containing white fluid. What's this, milk? No, these are samples from our offshore lab. Samples of what? So many questions. Curiosity is a marvelous trait for a scientist. Now I want you to run some tests on these. I want you to check how they respond to contact with compounds 16, 18, and 24. I notice how deftly he evaded my question. Once you've done that, provided there are no complications, I'll need you to apply the same to some of the cats and record the results. I beg your pardon? Apply the samples to the cats, Chef. We're looking for specific reactions. Of course, sir, but oughtn't I have a little more information before I start applying an untested product to a living subject? Look, Chef, I understand your concerns. Of course I do. However, once in a while, one has to trim the red tape, and this is one of those occasions. Now, I really am in the most awful rush, my dear, but I have complete faith in you. I don't like this. Okay, looks like a miniature milk bottle, but the fluid inside is creamier than milk. I retrieved the compounds from the cabinet that the professor wanted me to test and sped some time combining them with the sample. From what I could tell, the compounds are some kind of organic material, but no one has told me where they came from or what they actually are. I look at them under the microscope one by one and add a little of the sample. It's a bit like glue, so it's hard to get it to combine, but once I do, something odd happens. The dead cells that make up the compounds start to move excitedly. They aren't coming back to life exactly, but they are behaving like living cells. Is he trying to make zombie cats? I have no idea what this stuff is or its intended use, but I do know that I feel uncomfortable applying it to live subjects. I look at the cats in their cages. They look back at me with trusting eyes. I am going to refuse. No, I'm not doing this. Yeah. He can do it himself if he wants to. Professor, I feel I cannot continue in my task today until I understand the implications of what it is I'm being asked to do to the cats. I don't get a reply right away. Eventually, it beeps. Oh dear, that's disappointing. I'd be happy to comply if you could just give me a little more information. If you really are having such difficulties in carrying out your duties, perhaps it would be best for me to find someone who is better equipped. I'm afraid I may lose my job if I don't administer the sample. I don't want to do this. Continue to refuse. I feel the implicit... What? Threat. There's a threat. Threat. I'm sorry you see it that way, sir. I love my job here, but this oversteps a personal boundary. Collect your things. You can catch the boat in the morning. Boom. I'm just like out. Okay, guess I'm going home. I was hoping to straighten things out, but he wasn't there, and I received a curt message from him asking that I be on the boat first thing in the morning. So here I am, heading to the jetty. No one to wave me off. Okay. Return to my old life. Strange, even after a short time I can't seem to remember much about my life before. Joe, the ferryman's son, takes my bag and helps me onto the boat. That was quick. You drink all the boss's whiskey or something? Something. He looks at me suspiciously. Must be bad then, playing with the cats instead of working. Let's just go, shall we? I can't wait to get home. And where would that be? Huh? Home. You do know where your home is, don't you? Don't be daft. But for some reason my mind won't focus and I can't seem to remember. Where then? It's... Oh man, I'm turning into a cat! Don't worry, you just sit there for a minute. Dad? Oh no... Got a problem here, son? I reckon so. This one can't even remember their own name. Oh no. What? Yes, I can. It's Chef! It's Chef! Oh no, a gun! Now I'm being shot again. It's not personal, Chef. We just have to take precautions. Can't have any problems reaching the mainland now, can we? Oh no. I'm dead again. Elementary. Extras. Research 8. Okay, cool. I got an unlock. Sweet. It's complicated with Trixie. You've been sacked. Man, oh man. Okay. Well... Cool. I did just die. I was shot. This is the third time, though. Oh, actually, no, it's the second time, because my second character turned into a cat. Okay, I'm gonna be this guy, and his name is gonna be... What words are on my chapstick? His name is gonna be Shield. He's Shield. There we go. Accept. What an amazing journey. I've always enjoyed being out on the open waters. Each time character dies or turns into a cat, they get the journal from the previous one, so that it's just continuing to figure out what's happening on this island. I almost skip off the wooden jetty. Security, jacket, ID. Here's my ID. Shield. The first time it was 0101 here, And so 2 months pass each time. And then it's like literally just the next person that comes along. Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's a bit weird. And sometimes I skip some of the story. Like, I don't read it all because I'm like, okay, this is a lot. But, yeah. Come on then, Skipper, follow me. Luckily, this guy isn't the sociable type, so I can take in the sights. The boss is in there. Glad to have you aboard. Few formalities. Sounds good to me, sir. Shall we have a little refreshment? Okay. I've gone with whiskey, water, and tea. Tea was a bad choice. Whiskey was a good one. He actually liked that I wanted whiskey. And water, he was like, yeah, that's average. So, let's go with gin. Gin? For medicinal purposes. He necks the bottle before handing it to me. Much better. I find it settles the stomach. Have a try. I hold the empty bottle self-consciously. The rest of the day is taken up with procedural stuff. Professor Popper shows me around. Okay, he's eccentric, but in a nice way. Catalog. Get the catalog. Scan some cats. Keep it safe. Keep the catalog safe. Keep it safe. Safety safe. As I'm settling into my tent, I make a discovery that really catches my attention. It's a notebook that was obviously written by my predecessor. It's been left under my bed. It's an invitation to read it, as far as I'm concerned. I think it may be the first draft of a novel. It's not bad either. They certainly have a vivid imagination. There are bizarre stories about talking cats and other island anomalies. They were obviously very inspired by their surroundings. Haha, you think it's fake. It ain't fake. I must say, it's a great read. I imagine if it were true, it is. I laugh at my little fantasy as I snuggle down for the first sleep on Cat Island. Sometime in the middle of the night, I'm awoken by an intruder in my tent. Before my brain can catch up to what's going on, I've leapt out of my bed shouting, "Who's there?" I scramble around for a few seconds, realizing that the notebook has been taken. The next thing I know, I'm running through the forest, barefoot, chasing what looks like a cat. This is insane. A wave of nausea rises up in me, and I realize that I've become perilously close to the danger zone. Remembering the warnings in the notebook, I try to turn back, but my legs give way under me. I close my eyes tight as I hit the ground. Dun dun dun. I open my eyes. A calico cat is standing in front of me. It drops the notebook from its mouth. I pass out. As per usual. Kitty cats. I'm laying on the sand, surrounded by cats looking down at me. Yeah, caught as a live one. Move back, child. Yes, let them breathe or they won't be alive much longer. As my brain begins to fuzz, I realize that this is what I was reading about in the novel, only it wasn't a novel at all. My stomach tightens to a knot. It was a journal. I focus my eyes and pick out the big marmalade cat. Have I been bitten? Well, of course you've been bitten. How else would you be able to hear us? This one's an idiot. Don't be rude. You know about being bitten. You read the journal. Most of it. Enough to understand what's happening here, Kara. Enough to know you have a choice to make. Help the kitties. The one time I didn't help the kitties, I turned into a cat and got no information for progressing, so gonna help. Enough to know there's no choice. We have to help each other. Bravo, Kara. So let's cut to the chase. We've already done the chase bit. Hush now. What do you need to know, human? I'm still a bit dazed and in shock. Everything, really. At that moment, my catalog starts beeping. It's telling me I have 15 minutes to get back to camp and start my first day at work. I have to go! Let me get myself together and we can catch up later. I have a feeling you're going to do very well, Kara. The best one yet. Hopefully. About to enter the lab to begin my legitimate work when the catalog beeps. It's a message without any contact information. In calm water... Oh, I didn't get to read that one either. What? I don't even know. I've just had about enough mystery as a person could handle for one day. If you want to be anonymous, I shall take it. You also don't mind being ignored. The professor is already working when I arrive, but I'm not late, so there's no fuss. I get through the day as efficiently as possible and head to my tent. Disco cat. Ooh, extras. Extra. Sherlock 1. Should I do something a little different? Heck yeah, I should. Ooh. Something has woken me, and I can't work out what it is. I'm so used to the sounds of the island by now, waves crashing in and out, yowling, and the sounds of the occasional catfight, that they no longer disturb my sleep. Whatever it was seems to have stopped, so I bring my blanket up to my chin and allow my eyes to close. The sound of the waves gets fainter, and my mind drifts further and further away into the land of sleep. Suddenly, I'm awake again. I can hear a strange noise coming from somewhere nearby. From my very tent, in fact. It sounds like scratching. Okay, so like a pen on rough paper, not a pen exactly, a quill perhaps? I sit up abruptly and find myself alone in my tightly fastened tent. I reach for my torch to take a better look around and realize that I'm holding something in my fist. I don't remember grabbing anything. It's a folded piece of paper. I open it slowly, wary of what it might be. I must have written a note to remind myself of something and I forgot that I'd even written it. This place certainly messes with your mind. I look at the elaborate swirling cursive. That's definitely not my handwriting. Do you need assistance? S.H. S.H. Who is S.H.? I do a quick mental run through of everyone on the island, and the initials don't fit anyway. Maybe it means shh, as in keep quiet, but even so, assistance with what? I stare at the piece of paper. I haven't been able to yet. Only one of my people became a cat, and it was basically a really useless playthrough. But I haven't come across him. His name was Philip. I named him Philip. So who could have slipped in my hand while I was sleeping? And more importantly, why? I scrutinized the handwriting. It's unusual and beautiful. Normally I would think this was some kind of practical joke, but has been written by someone with such a deft hand that I cannot imagine anyone here being capable of this class of penmanship. Why would someone assume I need assistance? In spite of myself, I begin to drift back to sleep. Well, do you need assistance? It's Sherlock the cat. I'm sorry, what? Who are you? I take out the catalog and try to scan the mysterious cat. No data available. He's the best. Look at his little pipe. He's so great. Who am I? Oh my god, yes, Watson! If I might be permitted to make the introductions, Dr. John K. Watson. Most happy to make your acquaintance. He holds out his little paw for me to shake. Hello. And this is the legendary Sherlock C. Holmes at your service. Sherlock doesn't even look at me. I think his ego may be bruised by me not instantly recognizing him. We're here to help. Help who? Why, you, of course. Oh, I wasn't aware I needed help. If you do not see that you are not equipped to help yourself, I put it to you that you are in more need of our help than was previously understood. He's rarely wrong, so yes or no? Yes! I do need assistance. Allow me to alleviate you of some of the questions that are inevitably swirling around in that tiny diurnal brain of yours. I don't know what that word says. It has come to my attention that you are interested in finding out more about the true nature of this island. That's a good thing. It indicates that you may not be quite as stupid as you look. Now really, Holmes, I would ask you not to insult our clients. Oh, I do not mean to insult them. Surely even they are not so stupid that they do not know how stupid they are. As I was saying, my interest has become sufficiently aroused as to prompt me to agree to aid you in your endeavors to unravel the little mystery you have stumbled upon. Clearly, we cannot do all the hard work for you, but we shall assist you to the best of our abilities. My abilities being far more useful than my than that of my colleague here, obviously. Now, Holmes, really. What my good friend here is trying to say is that we are at your service and shall do our best to help you find the answers you seek to the questions you ask. Well, I suppose that's very nice of you, but before we go any further, who sent you? Sherlock and Watson share an inscrutable look. You really must focus on asking the right questions. If we are to make any progress, I shall appear with intelligence shortly. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Zane Jones. I sit up in bed again. Zane is calling through the tent flap. Or should I say good afternoon? Uh-oh, crumbs, I overslept. Uh-oh, I overslept. Alright, we've got another extra. Oh, extras don't even use up a heart. Well, let's just continue with the extras, because they're kind of fun. Sherlock 2. I'm awoken by the sound of music filling my tent. Music? What the? Oh. As I grab my torch and fill my tent with a bright light, I see the bizarre spectacle of a cat in a cape and deerstalker's hat playing a violin. This is too weird, even for this island. Be quiet, you're going to wake the whole camp. I'm afraid he can't stop until he's completed the entire coda. OCD, you know. But why is he playing in my tent in the middle of the night? It's what he does. Well, can't he do it somewhere else? It's what he does when he's near to working something out, on the edge of the precipice of enlightenment. God damn it, I'm beginning to sound like him. And what does it have to do with me? It's your little mystery he's working on. At that moment, the music ends with a flourish, and I begin clapping instinctively. I stop, irritated with myself for encouraging him. A little bow. I have it. Have what? Come, come, clothes, shoes, outside. And he's gone. You'd best get dressed and meet us outside. I do as I'm told, cursing myself for going along with this nonsense in the middle of the night, and I have work tomorrow. When we reconvene out in the cold of the night, Sherlock is pacing up and down, flinging his little cat arms around as though he's conducting an orchestra. I lean in closer to Watson and whisper so that only he can hear. What's he doing now? He whispers back. Helps him to think. Can we get on with it, please? Follow. He struts off towards the back of the labs. We come to a halt at the incinerator pits. Regard, if you will, the small white particles of grit at the epicenter of the incineration, resistant to total cremation, the remains of teeth, possibly. Before we can comment, he's striding off again. Bear with him, it's usually worth it. I traipse behind him until we stop again. This time we're outside Professor Purrfect's tent. We will need to be stealthy. What I want you to see lies within. We can't go into the professor's tent. He's in there sleeping. My powers of stealth are beyond what is expected range of a normal feline, or any animal for that matter. I have trained to the highest level in the art of Kakati. For many years, I studied under... Oh, just get on with it. But if he wakes up, you're going to carry the can. Do you understand? My dear child, I understand the greatest problems posed to humankind's greatest thinkers. I doubt I shall be taxed by a nincompoop of your caliber. Calibre? Bra? Now, Holmes, be nice and be quick, I might add. The client's teeth are chattering. Actually, stop. I'm taken aback by my own forcefulness, and even the great Holmes stops in his tracks. I want you to come back to my tent right now and explain whatever it is that you think you know. No more of this theatrical showing off. Just tell me like a normal person. Or cat. As you wish, but it won't be nearly so... It's my turn to stride off and leave him mid-sentence. We're settled back in the warm, and Sherlock has re-inflated his ego. I have a theory, and until it's proven, that's all it is. A theory about what this island is for, the secret it keeps, or secrets if my deductions prove true. I'm very tired. Could you please tell me your theory? I'm still working on the individual components of the larger picture. However, for this evening, to whet your appetite, I shall disclose and leave you with this. There are deviants that walk this earth under the guise of normality, whose aberrations, if exposed, would shock you to your core. Okay? I intend to prove that this very island is home to one who practices are not only unlawful, but also unthinkable. When are you going to actually tell me anything, Sherlock? Yes, Holmes, come now, we need to get along. I refuse to be rushed and bullied in this vulgar way. We just want you to say something of significance that makes some sense. Human sacrifice! Well, that's shut up is up. I wait for him to continue, but of course he strings it out as long as possible for dramatic effect. The offering of human babies in sacrifice is an ancient practice. The demand for virgin blood by the dark gods is widely recognized as. Sorry to interrupt you in full flow, but are you saying that there's sacrificial rituals going on here right under my nose that I haven't noticed? Why would you not noticing what's right under your nose be noteworthy? May I remind you that I needed to point out to you the human teeth in the incinerator, a place you inspect daily. Exactly, Holmes. I tend to those pits as part of my daily routine, so I know them inside and out. What you're referring to as teeth are actually the small pebbles that cling to the roots of the plant samples we burn after testing. Pebbles don't burn. In fact, they collect and alter the temperature of the incinerator, so I have to clear them out twice a week. Sherlock is uncharacteristically quiet. Watson looks deeply embarrassed. Now, unless you have any other ridiculous notions you'd like to share with the group, I suggest we all say night-night. Good night. You have no idea the danger your ignorance places you in. I shall not be deterred by your lack of cooperation, but shall return shortly with irrefutable evidence. Good evening. I'll call for you if I need you. I'm sorry for everything really. We'll wait to hear from you. Adieu. Adieu. I bid you adieu. Bye. Okay, I've unlocked another one. So I think... Can I save this game? If I hit quit, is it gonna save? Does Purrfect date save? I just don't want to close the game before I find out. That would really suck. Like if it didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming it does, because otherwise this game is way too long to like... Yeah, whatever. Quit. Return to main menu. Yes, yes. Not saying it's not saved, so I think I'm good. I'm gonna go for today. I will come back tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'll play more Purrfect Date or if I will... Oh, look at this. These are the endings I've gotten. Anti-hero, so that was the one where I turned into a cat by choosing not to help them. Dry drunk, and you've been sacked. Those are the ones I've gotten. Yep. Anyways, back to main menu. And I'm gonna head out now because I need to eat food, and yeah, that's my story. But Luna, I will message you on Discord very soon. Very soon indeed. You have a wonderful day also. See you later.